Jesse on a Tuesday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We're going to actually head right to Doug Armstrong's press conference. Army making the moves that has netted the two Oilers players. Let's go live right now to Army's press conference.
Jeff did a great job of improving his team, and but it put them in a situation where they had used a lot of their cap equity, and they had two young players, and we felt that if we could pinpoint those two players, make them offers that might be difficult for Edmonton to match, we would go that direction. And I think it's always obviously harder to match two than one, and so we went that direction.
Doug, when you're constructing the contracts, I mean, how pivotal was that second year, knowing the Oilers cap situation coming up?
Yeah, it certainly played into it. One of the, you go into it thinking is 1 year more difficult because then the players have arbitration rights, and if they have good years, is 1 year less because they don't have great years. They can get taken back in the CBA, and we just felt that a two-year offer would be good for the Blues. It lets these guys know where they're going to be. They can put some roots down here, and Edmonton's got so many good players. They have decisions to make, signing those players, and I think maybe overpaying, if you want to say that, for these guys wasn't difficult for us because we have the cap space, and I believe it. If the cap goes up when their contracts are done, their cap should be approximately $100 million potentially, and if it's at $100 million, these guys are 2.2% and 4.5%. So we think that it's money. It's a good investment for us, a good investment for the Blues, and we think highly of these players. We think they're going to be the key players on the team.
Hey, Doug, it's Lou. How difficult was this to decipher whether to offer up enough as far as dollar value is concerned, and the compensation being the second and a third as opposed to a first and a second?
Yeah, there just became a comfort level that dollar value wise too, and assets. We want to keep our first round picks. We've done that now since 2020, and we have our first round pick next year. And you just try and maximize the leverage that you have going right up into the maximum of a second round pick and the maximum of a third round pick. And we didn't feel comfortable going past that, and I didn't think it was necessary.
Speaking of picks, Doug, this doesn't happen if you aren't able to get that second rounder back from Pittsburgh. Some people said that it took some time to get that pick back. Can you just maybe talk about that process? Maybe you think the offer sheet deal might be dead if you don't get the pick back.
Yeah, for sure it's dead. We had to have our own pick, and so we went to work at that and worked with Pittsburgh. They obviously valued that pick. We pushed it back a year from this year because we valued this year's draft. We getting Fisher and with the pick was important for us, and then you push that back a year, and then all of a sudden this opportunity arises, and we had to go work to get it back, and we made a deal I thought Kyle was comfortable with, and we were comfortable with, to acquire that, and then we knew we were going to use that to try and go down this path. If we wouldn't have made that trade to get that pick back if it wasn't tied in with this.
Doug, when you signed them both to the offer sheets, how likely did you think it was that you would be able to get both of them?
That's a really good question. When you just look at the math part of it, I thought it was going to be difficult or not difficult. They were going to have to make some decisions, and with what the contracts and the great players they have coming forward that need to be signed. So it's a little bit of a crapshoot. You hope to get both. We did this because we wanted to improve the St. Louis Blues. That's the bottom line. There's no other ulterior motive to this. My job is to do what's best for the St. Louis fan base, the St. Louis ownership group, and the organization as a whole. And I thought this was an opportunity that doesn't come around all the time. And we had the picks, we had the cap space. They fit into a plan that we have that Mr. Stillman and his partners have signed off on of trying to build something sustainable. And it reminds me a lot of, quite honestly, when I came here in 2028, there was a lot of young players here, and 2008. There was a lot of young players here, and we had to build a team. And right now, as I said, with all those first round picks, I think we have a lot of pieces now. We have to build the puzzle, and I'm excited to have Alex Dean help me do that for a couple of years, and then he can. Like I tried to help John and Larry for a couple of years, and then they turned the reins over to me. I'm looking to get this set up for Alex, and then turn the reins over to him.
Doug, when Edmonton made the 2 trades, the hockey world looked at it differently. Some said they were clearing space to match. Other people said they were requiring young players to let the players go. What was your take on that? Did you have any idea at that point which way they were headed?
Stan and I had some conversations, but I don't know. It's the way I'm wired. We can't control it, so I didn't really spend a lot of time worrying about it. They had access to our second round pick. They had access to our third round pick. They had access to Holloway, and they had access to Broberg, and we had access to none of it. So what Stan and was doing behind the scenes was his business, and I just knew that we were going to find out this morning at 8:30. And he and I did talk, obviously, to, as our goal was to get the players. Stan said we would have to add a piece or two, and he and I went to work, and we were able to get that done. And I give Stan a lot of credit. He had a lot of balls in the air, and I thought he did a great job.
Yeah, Doug, can you just explain why you had to make that deal for the Fisher and the future pick?
Well, our goal was to get these players, and I just didn't. I felt that if when we were talking, and he said if we work to a point where he said if that's agreeable, we won't match, and so our goal was always to get the players and to have to add a little bit to the second and the third to reach our goal. We as an organization wanted to do that.
Doug, did you watch these guys? How much did you watch them, especially in the Stanley Cup final? And did their play there dictate to you that this might be something worth taking a shot at just by the trajectory that these guys are showing that they're going in?
Obviously, I watched video of the Stanley Cup finals, of the playoffs. Dave Taylor's right out there in California. He's seen these players play a ton. Troy Brower's in Calgary. He's seen them play a ton. We've got reports on them. They're players when we've been at the last 2 trade deadlines. Edmonton's been looking to acquire players, and we've been stagnant, not looking to acquire players. And these were guys that we've always had an interest in. But they're certainly their trajectory is good. But right now in our group, they're just in the starting blocks. They've come from, getting into the NHL and helping the Oilers. They're going to be, I'm not going to say right out of the bat key pieces that their team's going to run through, but they're going to have a bigger role for us than they've had before. And we got to get them up to speed accepting that.
Along those lines, where do you see them fitting in this year, each of them?
When I talked to each player, I said we view Dylan as a top 9 forward. He's played center coming out of college. He did have a wrist surgery that put him on the wing a little bit. Great skater, size. Going to be real great competition, I think, in our forward group this year. I see him touching a lot of areas of that group. And Broberg we see as a top 4 left-handed defenseman. Now, obviously, guys want that job too. So that's the great part of these deals is that we've added competition into our group. But we're at a spot now that as we're building a foundation, we have the ability to let guys grow into roles from probably 2013 to 2022. In St. Louis, we didn't have the ability to let players grow into roles there. We were trying to win championships and trying to do that. So we're at a different spot right now. And again, it reminds me a lot of what John Davidson and Larry Plow, I thought, did a great job of setting up. I think we're at that point. So the role they're going to have to define, and they're going to have to push and take whatever they can.
Doug, with Broberg, what about his skill set gives you confidence that he has that top 4 potential?
I think his skating he's just an elite skater. He's got very good hockey sense. He can recover lost ice, a good stick down low. He's got a good frame. He just has to become a man, and I think he's working towards that. Obviously, every day in the gym. When you hear NHL players, they say you can't really tell about NHL detail after 200 games. So there's going to be no long-term answers by Christmas this year on whether this was a good decision or a poor decision, because we have a lot of runway with these guys, because we have a lot of time, and we're excited to watch them grow.
Doug, you've got a ton of depth now with 14 one-way forwards, not including neighbors, 10 one-way D. Is it a situation where you could have a few guys making the minimum and you send them to the minors, or is this where you could trade from this depth?
Well, I think we're certainly in a position of strength right now. We can do either one of those things. I think training camp is going to be a great opportunity for these young guys. I look at a guy like Bolduc. I'm not sure if you're including him in that, but he played very well for us in the last year, and he wants to push for a top 6 role on our team. I think he can do it. It's up, like the veterans that have been here now for a while usually come into training camp to get it, just to get their rhythm. I'm not sure that's the best course of action for them this year, because the competition is going to be really strong.
Doug, when you look at the depth on D, I think we all wonder about Krug and his status. Can you just touch on his update and what his rehab looks like?
Yeah, there's no update on that. I said we would talk about that after Labor Day, closer to the season, and we'll stick with that timeline.
Doug, did you get any reaction from managers around the league about what you did, whether it be texts or whatever? And do you think there could be more of these soon because of the result here?
I did talk to some guys, not a lot. I think there was obviously I've read on what people are writing, and if there is a GM code not to do offer sheets, nobody emailed it to me. This is a tool that I think everyone uses and should use, and I think it was reported that I wouldn't have done this to Kenny Hall, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. Quite honestly, I'd do it to my mother if she was managing the Oilers. My job is to take care of the St. Louis Blues fans and the St. Louis Blues organization, and we saw an opportunity to do that. And so there's no code. I did talk to some people in the league, and I think JR, you and I talked about it. I think offer sheets are there if you think you're going to get the player. I don't believe in offer sheets to harm an organization, meaning, put an offer sheet on because they're going to match, but it puts them in a bad spot. That at least for me, I wouldn't do that. I don't see the purpose in that. I think the purpose of an offer sheet is if you look at a franchise and you think you have an opportunity to get a player, you do it, and that's the way we looked at this one. But you look at some of the franchises and the free agents. Like I can talk about them right now in Detroit. Detroit's left $17+ million to make because they have restricted free agents anyone could talk to right now. But they have the ability to match whatever's going to be there. So I know moving forward, I'll speak for the St. Louis Blues, that when we have good young free agents, we're going to leave enough cap space there to sign those guys. And I think it's a double-edged sword for a player also. You can hold out to get an offer sheet, and if you get it, you're the winner. You win if the team doesn't have the space. But there also becomes a point from a manager where he says, I've had enough of this, and you're going to come back on a 2 or 3 year deal at exactly what I offer you, or else you can sit the year out. That's fine too. And so everyone has to play ball to get these deals done. And I'm looking forward to with our group is making sure that we leave enough space to sign our own players. And if push comes to shove and it gets pushed they'll react and we'll react, and that's just that. But that's the nature of business where all 32 teams deal like that. And so, I guess I just want to reiterate that this wasn't anything against an organization. This was an attempt for us to get better, and that's the only reason we did it. And it was successful, and we would do it again if we think it'd be successful. And again, that code that I have been hearing about, it's not true. It's managers do what they have to do for their franchises, and if they don't, they shouldn't be doing their job. It's like when you have two players, and I'll say Twister and Chaser, when they played together and then they played on different teams, they fought. They're great friends. They're best friends. Everyone has a job to do. You have to do your job, and so that's how we got to this point. I had to do my job.
Doug, I know you mentioned that Alex Steen is involved with a lot of the decision-making process, but with moves like these that would affect his tenure, what was his involvement with these ones?
I would say that it was more of a learning experience for him. Obviously, Tim Taylor, Ryan Miller, Alex, and I, when we discussed this plan, I've kept them involved in every aspect of it, so they can learn on the thought process. Why it might work, why it might not work, how we would go about doing it. I asked Alex's opinion on it, but I think right now, Alex, in situations like this is all new to him. I think he used this as a great learning experience.
Any final questions?
Thanks,
All right, Doug, everybody, thanks for your time. We'll talk
Thanks,
to you
everybody. We'll see you in September.
Recording stopped.
All right, we're going to get into some of the things that Army said during the press conference, including the mother of all lines, pun intended.
Sure was.
But some of the things that he was talking about in terms of the player acquisitions from the Oilers, the compensation he gave up, and overall just having a direction for this team. So we'll get into that next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Fellas, if you're a Blues fan, probably not having trouble right now, but if you are using ED meds, you're probably paying too much for them. That little blue pill, the gummies, all that stuff, forget about it. Head over to the Medicine Shop in St. Charles. They are your destination for cheap ED meds. They always have the generic called Sildenafil for less than $2 a pill. That's right, less than $2 a pill. Prescription is required. They also have a fantastic program where they offer free discreet shipping and delivery to your home or your workplace of any medicines you use on a regular basis. So for me and my family, my daughter is a type 1 diabetic, and she has diabetic supplies that we need to continuously refill all the time. My schedule's crazy. Can't get to the pharmacy. I don't worry about it. The Medicine Shop comes to my house, delivers all that stuff. It is a fantastic program that you should take full advantage of. You should also head in to see my friends over there at the Medicine Shop. They're there to answer all your questions, point you in the right direction, and take care of you like family. So please stop by. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you. If not, visit them online at stcharles.medicineshop.com. That's stcharles.medicineshop.com.
It's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. So we just heard Doug Armstrong's press conference. He covered a multitude of topics in relation to the Blues. It's official. They have acquired both Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway from the Oilers, who declined to match their offer sheets. The Blues also, in order to complete the deal, they traded Paul Fisher, who was a fifth-round pick, and a draft pick to Edmonton, which is going to be a third-round pick, in exchange for future considerations, which is basically the future considerations.
Could be a hotel room at a casino.
Could be a hotel room.
You just never know.
But Army discussed that. And let's get this out there, too. Like, he said the mother of all, comments after being asked, I think by our guy Jeremy Rutherford of The Athletic, about whether or not he's going to hear from other GMs with the way he approached this. And Army said, I would do this to my own mother if it made us better. Mm-hmm. So if you're driving...
Got quite a reaction from some people.
It got quite a reaction from some people. If you're driving around hearing that, you're listening to it, or you read it later on, or you read it maybe on Twitter, that's got to get you fired up if you're a Blues fan, because this is what we talk about a lot with Army compared to other GMs, including John Mozeliak, or presidents, when they don't necessarily communicate well with the media and by extension, their fan base. So Army killed it.
Yeah, he did.
He took the knife, stuck it through the eye, into the brain, and killed him.
So, doing a little digging myself here today, there's teammates with Ryan Barnes, who works with the agent for Philip Broberg. So I got on the phone with Ryan Barnes this morning and started discussing the situation overall, how it came together, all the stuff. He said flat out, Doug Armstrong was the master of all this. He got all these people basically on the same page, talking about how it's going to work and this and that and the amount of money that it's going to be, and like orchestrated the whole thing and then put the plan in motion just the way he did. And the Oilers were forced into a bad spot. And the Oilers did exactly what I thought they would do, is walk away. Because from a business standpoint for the Oilers, it makes no sense. They've got Leon Draisaitl. We talked about that yesterday. He's going to be up for a new contract. And they've also got Evan Bouchard, who's going to be a restricted free agent, he absolutely crushed the playoffs last year. He's a great offensive player. That's a guy they're going to want to get signed like sooner than later, because he's an RFA, which means somebody could swoop in and offer sheet Evan Bouchard next summer if the Oilers let it get there. So I think Stan Bowman was like, I need to sign Draisaitl, one of the best players in the world, and I need to sign Evan Bouchard. He's our best defenseman. With the second year of this Broberg and Holloway deal, it would have prevented the Oilers from being cap compliant to get those guys under contract. Mm-hmm. So Stan Bowman pivoted, and really, this is where veteran GMs / presidents of hockey operations, this is where they earn their keep. One, Army, what he did. It's exactly what you want. As a Blues fan, that's exactly what you want. You want your team, your front office to be uber aggressive and go make bold moves and get your team better as fast as you can.
Yeah.
The flip side of that, for the Oilers, Stan Bowman, his job is to not completely get fleeced in this deal and lose two really good young players. And so all Bowman did is he flipped those two players into Emberson, Podkolzin, Fisher. Those are three players that are really young. Podkolzin and Emberson will be on their roster this year. And Fisher projects to be a good left-handed defenseman somewhere down the line. And then he recouped a second, a third, and another third in these drafts. So, by the way, the Oilers, to start, before this went down, next year's draft didn't have a pick until the 6th round.
Wow.
Now they've got a second, a third, a sixth, a seventh, and then they've got tons of picks in the 2026 and moving on 27, 28. So Stan Bowman did a real good job of bouncing back from the offer sheets. But, yeah, let's give full credit to Army. He saw the opportunity to get in and do damage, and he did it. And now he got the players that he wants, and he's comfortable with the cap hit, and that's all that matters.
So what do you think of the Blues now that it's official? They made these two moves. Their off season essentially comes to a close, or we think. I don't think there's anything left to do now as opposed to, in relation to like making moves. So what do you think? Leave us a mic drop. What do you think about the Blues moves? Where do you think the Blues are right now in terms of their retool? Do you feel better than you did a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago or at the trade deadline maybe this past season? Leave us some mic drops and we'll play those throughout the course of the show. But more reactions to Army's press conference next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Jamie Rivers here. I want to talk to you about Tracy Bibb and the Bibb Agency. And one thing right now is the insurance markets are having a hard time right now. That means companies are seeing a lot of rate pressure, and so the rates are increasing. These companies are also canceling people who have accidents. That is not great. Allstate has better rates and can write coverage for more situations, even when other companies can't write you. If you are an Illinois resident, reach out to Tracy today and see how she can help save you money as well as keeping you covered. And people here on the St. Louis side, on the Missouri side, do the same thing. Check things out because Tracy Bibb and Allstate Insurance, they're doing the best they can to get you the best rate and provide you with the perfect coverage that you require. Whereas right now we're seeing a lot of companies that are, they're getting rid of people. They're not insuring people, and that's not ideal. So call Tracy Bibb. You get a free non-committal quote, and she's going to answer a lot of questions and take great care of you. That number is 314-328-4260. Again, that's 314-328-4260. It's no fib. You're in good hands with Tracy Bibb.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. It is official. Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway are St. Louis Blues. You just heard Doug Armstrong not too long ago in his press conference addressing the Blues acquiring these two players. If you missed that, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. You can find everything from our show on the podcast page. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We are going to continue reacting to the move that was made by Doug Armstrong and what he had to say regarding these two guys. So stay with us. Send us your mic drops. Text into the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Let us know what you think about the two new Blues. The Cardinals also in action tonight, taking on the Milwaukee Brewers with a first pitch of 6:45. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
So we're going to continue the Doug Armstrong conversation, but then the Cardinals said, hold my beer. We're going to do something.
Hold my $12 beer.
Hold my $12 beer.
How much they cost at the games now?
I don't know, Carey.
Come watch this
if you have
mediocre
to
product.
ask, you shouldn't be buying it. You know, that's the way I
You know
look at
what?
it.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
So don't buy is what you're saying. Okay.
So the Cardinals made some roster moves.
Go with rich friends.
Matt Carpenter has been activated from the 10-day injured list.
Oh, he's back, baby.
Back healthy.
Brandon Crawford has been granted his unconditional release.
He asked for it, or was it a mutual agreement?
Usually there's a situation where it's like, hey, we'd love to keep you on the roster here. Do you want to go down to, the minors? And Brandon Crawford probably said, go fast lane yourself. I'll take my 2 rings. And
okay.
Thank you. So Brandon Crawford has been granted his unconditional release.
Good.
Jamie.
For him.
Jamie has been clamoring for this.
Yeah,
Luken Baker
Bring up the
has
bacon.
been recalled from AAA Memphis.
All right. Now,
Let the big dog eat.
Now, Anthony, my math is not good.
Yeah.
So you got 2 guys onto the roster, and you only let one guy go. The math ain't mathing for me.
Though.
Well, yeah, but Luken Baker is
Still
who you're referring
two moves to
two
one.
moves to one.
Yeah.
So they got too many people on the roster right now.
Yeah.
So I guess they'll give us that information later about how they're going to figure that out.
No,
to get the numbers
they've
correct.
made enough moves.
What else happened?
Yeah, what are we missing?
Jordan Walker's been optioned to Memphis. It's out there.
Wait,
What?
you whispered it, but I
heard
No,
something.
I
I just
heard
heard a
something.
voice in my head.
I hear those too, Jamie. We heard the same voice. That's kind of strange. We shouldn't hear the same voice,
Well,
but we did.
We are brothers.
We are. But my voice sounds different from your voice in your head, I would assume.
I hope so.
Me too.
I was about to say, Carey, you hope so too. No, yeah. Jordan Walker's been optioned to Memphis. Matt
What?
Carpenter activated from the 10-day injured list. Luken Baker recalled from AAA Memphis. Jordan Walker has been optioned to Memphis. Brandon Crawford has been granted his unconditional release. I don't want to point fingers, okay? It doesn't help anybody when you start pointing fingers. Jamie, this is your fault. This is your fault.
Thank you.
You wanted Luken Baker so bad.
I did.
Why don't you just bring up Luken Baker? If you're just going to sit Jordan Walker, well, guess what?
There he is.
Yeah.
There he is.
And this
is your fault.
And this move makes sense. The way they were using Jordan Walker made no sense at all. He was swinging the bat really well down in Memphis. You call him up, we're gonna ride that wave. That was the time to do it. He's got great momentum going. But we're gonna sit him for more than half of the games that he's here.
Yeah.
Because he's only gonna bat against lefties, to which he has better OPS against righties, but we're gonna ignore that.
Yes.
Okay? We're gonna completely ignore that and go with only lefties, to where he went 0 for 8 against lefties. And he's gonna sit on the bench. Makes no sense. Send him back to Memphis. The guy that you should have brought up in the beginning, if you're going to platoon somebody, was Luken Baker.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound rude, but they've shown no respect to Luken Baker for the last 2 years, and all the guy's done is lead AAA baseball in home runs 2 years in a row. So, Bring him up. If he sits on the bench, who cares? You put him there against lefty. I think he's got 1,100 OPS or something against lefties, 17 home runs or something this year against lefty. So there you go.
I have no problem with Luke and Baker getting an opportunity. We talked about it. He's a guy that should have. He's been killing it in the minors. He's done it for the last couple of years. He's a really good baseball player. Now, does that translate to the majors? We didn't see enough of it last year, and so maybe this is an opportunity for it to happen. He's going to be a platoon player because he's only a first baseman and possibly a DH. Cool, no problem. What the hell are you doing with Jordan Walker?
Well, why did you call him up?
My point exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing with Jordan Walker? What is the purpose? What is the idea? What is the final process of all of this? What are you trying to do? Because I can tell you what you are doing.
You know what it is, Carey.
No. I can tell you what you are doing. You are potentially, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but you are potentially ruining the mindset of a very young player and a very talented player.
Carey, they've already told us what the game plan is for Jordan Walker. You're just not paying attention.
What is it?
He's going to be a Ray.
Oh, God.
You're going to get a reliever out of it, probably. I mean, that's just kind of how things go.
Is the reliever going to be good? Is he going to be like
maybe somewhere between Andrew Kittredge and whatever this other
Stretch Armstrong?
Stretch Armstrong has done. This is a mess. Can I read some tweets?
Sure.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
So the Cardinals, they've got we have made the following roster moves, and they got a nice graphic.
I can only imagine what's coming.
Cardinal logo, their roster move, St. Louis Cardinals. First, this is just the most relevant. I've got it, organized by most relevant. One person says, LOL. Literal clown show. Another guy says, literally, fast lane you.
Oh, wow.
Pathetic. The tank is on. What the actual fast lane? Only took 124 games to get Brandon Crawford off the roster. That's a positive one. Disaster of a front office. Sell the fast lane team.
Be careful.
Y'all gonna ruin Walker just enough to trade him in 3 years. I think this is accurate, but I think they missed the fact that it's got to be for a Rays reliever. Can we option Mo to the minors or outright release? When are Ollie and Mo being granted their unconditional release? Let's see. I'm done. Nope, not even a period. Just I'm done. Pitiful. Pull up Walker to let him ride on the pine and ruin his hot streak. Used to be such a well-run franchise. You guys want any more? You good?
You can keep going.
Okay.
Because I'm sure it's going to be all day long. Mm-hmm. The contrast of what you just saw from the St. Louis Blues versus what you're seeing from the St. Louis Cardinals. The difference. You got a damn GM saying, I don't care if it's my mother that is the GM for the Oilers. I'm doing what is best for this team. And the damn Cardinals are like, well, net. What are you doing?
We have
on the same damn day.
Cardinals
Not even 5 minutes apart, Anthony. The St. Louis Blues are going to get you excited about, and the Cardinals are like, watch this. I can go in the exact opposite direction.
Cardinals are your cold shower.
What are you doing?
The Cardinals go, hey, we've got moves too.
Nobody gives a damn, man. You should have just, you should have just rolled the team out there and not said anything until after the game when a reporter asks, hey, where's Jordan and Brandon? By the way,
we optioned them.
We sent them down. Didn't really matter. We were going to play the game. It's the Blues day. Let them you are showing St. Louis that you are on the opposite ends of the spectrum, man. And it is frustrating the hell out of me. Oh, my God.
Carey, I'm going to need you to express yourself more clearly.
Oh, my God, man.
That was hilarious.
Your head almost exploded.
Wait, no, we have moves, too.
You don't.
We're not the only sports team in St. Louis. We got moves, too.
You could be dead last in the division by the end of the series.
You might. Yeah, you might.
Oh, my God,
To translate what Carey just said is The Cardinals really don't have a very clear plan of what they're doing or how to do it properly. And so they just kind of wing it and hope it works out.
just wing it.
Rough translation? Carey?
Something like that.
Yeah, okay.
Eventually it'll all come together.
Yeah. And when it doesn't, we'll just make a trade with the Rays.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Somebody 636 said, who just snorted?
I did.
Jamie admitted it.
I did.
Yeah.
When you have a nose that's crushed like this and you go to inhale quickly when you're laughing,
man.
it creates that.
It happens.
I am so bothered.
All right, this is going to be one of those free-flowing shows, so feel free to participate. Leave us mic drops, anything. You want to rant about the Cardinals? You want to praise Doug Armstrong? You want to do both?
Welcome to Wally World. It's going to be a roller coaster.
Exactly,
today.
yeah. And the park is not closed.
No.
The moose outside should have told you. We're open for business here for the next 3+ hours. So chime in.
God bless the Cardinals.
We'll talk about the Cardinals more. We'll talk about Army. We'll talk about Mo not setting up his successor for success like Doug Armstrong. We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN. If you think your roof might be damaged, maybe it's leaking someplace, you don't know if there's damage, you got to call my friends at the Happy Roof Company. They're going to have somebody within 24 hours to come out and look at your issue. That's how good the Happy Roof is when it comes to customer service. They also work really well with insurance companies. So if you had roof damage and your insurance company already paid you, but now you need to get that estimate from a reliable company, great, call the Happy Roof. They've got free estimates with competitive pricing. If you need help with insurance paperwork on a damaged roof, again, the Happy Roof Company can help. They've got over 50 years of a combined experience in roofing, siding, and gutters. If you need a completely new roof, no problem. They got financing options available, superior high-end products like Class 3 shingles that they offer as well. And they offer that with any estimate. We're talking about Class 3 impact-resistant shingles on all of their estimates. Finally, if your insurance claim got denied, but all your neighbors are getting new roofs except for you, again, call the Happy Roof Company. As I mentioned before, they work very well with insurance companies. 314-665-3001, thehappyroof.com. Tell them Stalter sent you.
I thought this was an opportunity that doesn't come around all the time. And we had the picks, we had the cap space. They fit into a plan that we have that Mr. Stillman and his partners have signed off on, of trying to build something sustainable. And it reminds me a lot of, quite honestly, when I came here in 2008, there was a lot of young players here, and we had to build a team. And right now, as I said, with all those first round picks, I think we have a lot of pieces now. We have to build the puzzle, and I'm excited to have Alex Dean help me do that for a couple of years, and then he can, like I tried to help John and Larry for a couple of years, and then they turned the reins over to me. I'm looking to get this set up for Alex and then turn the reins over to him.
So that was Doug Armstrong earlier this hour, in fact, at his press conference, and he's talking about building a puzzle, building the roster puzzle. Fortunately for Blues fans, they have him putting the puzzle together. I'll leave it at that.
What do you mean by that, Anthony?
No, I'll leave it at that.
Huh.
Because Doug Armstrong is not only building a puzzle, he's got a direction. I'm not even sure if the puzzle is going to be completed at some point. We may stand back and say, you know what, I don't like that puzzle. That's a dumb puzzle. But at least he's got direction. At least he's fitting the pieces correctly. Again, the final picture might be like, oh, that's just a puzzle of crap.
It also feels like the organization is on the same page.
Cohesion. And this also goes from what Army is doing to set up Alexander Steen for success down the road, I feel. Maybe 3 years from now, it's like, nope, that was a mess that he created for him. I don't think it will be.
I don't think
Army's smart. He's got direction. He's got one eye toward the future, one eye right now on the present. I don't feel like whoever's going to supplant Mo is going to feel like there's going to be some sort of direction with that. Do you?
No. Currently, the way I feel, it's just two opposite spectrums here. And today, Carey, to your meltdown not too long ago,
yeah,
like
I call it a rant.
Whatever it is.
Meltdown,
a successful rant.
We call it just crazy Carey. I'm fine with that.
Melting rant.
Melting
of down.
Scary Carey. Remember that?
Yeah.
So the way I feel is like Army is definitely, he's making moves to improve the club. He's making moves to hand off a team to Alex Steen in a couple of years. He's also making moves to help a rookie head coach. Drew Bannister was interim last year. Now he is the outright head coach, so it's technically his rookie season as a head coach. He's putting pieces in place so that his coaching staff can also see progress and success. What does that look like? I don't know. But the team right now, as it sits, the team is better than it was last year. Mm-hmm. And so based on that, they should be a more competitive roster, gives that coaching staff a better chance to succeed and hopefully get into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. The Blues have also given Blues fans a chance to hope that, hey, we're heading in the right direction, or to be a part of the process. And Army has been very transparent about what they're trying to do. Feels like there's ownership from everybody in the city and all that stuff. When I look at the Cardinals, like, if it's Chaim Bloom that gets handed this project, like, it's missing pieces. It's like you get home from IKEA, okay? And you've got this big old table and you're missing like 4 pieces.
Missing a leg.
One of them's a leg. So you
got to go back, right? And you try to, and then you come back again and it's missing a different piece. That's what I feel like Chaim Bloom is going to be getting. The IKEA table is missing a leg, missing a door, like whatever it is.
And part of the table is to like one set. The other half of the table's to like another set.
Different set.
Not even the same, not even the same furniture.
They don't really go together.
Don't go together.
And you've tried to force it, and it just, I can will this to work, and it's not going to work.
It's just not going to work.
Then you get the duct tape from the garage. You're like, I'll make it work. You put it.
But you just paid a lot of money for this, so you shouldn't have to use duct tape to keep it together.
You're
Anthony.
right.
It's a good point.
But you still try.
Yeah, but
and then the table just
works.
slowly.
It just doesn't work.
No.
Yeah. Ultimately, there's failure. So what does the Cardinals roster look like then? Like, does Chaim Bloom have to come in and try to completely redo all this stuff too? Because John Mozeliak and the current ownership have been unwilling to do this rebuild / whatever you want to call it. They just keep picking up veteran players, trying to ease it along and hoping that the young guys. Well, if all this implodes and Chaim Bloom inherits a team that now has some average young players, all the old players are unproductive or gone at this point. Now what? Like, he's not inheriting a good team at that point.
No, he's not.
It's just two organizations that just feel so different right now.
It's very frustrating. I mean, again, you're watching the Blues and you feel like this is a team that is doing everything they can to win, even to the point where they're saying, Army said, you know, veterans usually come into training camp to get their rhythm. Not sure if that's the best idea this year.
He's telling you.
Hey, man, we stunk last year, and you're not going to come in here with the same mindset that you did last year. I got a lot of young players that are eager to play hockey at the National Hockey League level, and they are going to be pushing you. I'd advise you to come into training camp full-fledged, ready to roll.
Yeah.
And if you're not, if you think you're going to kind of ease your way into practice, it's going to be some, yeah, buddy, it's going to be some young players that are on your heels and trying to take your spot.
No doubt.
That's competition. That's what makes this team better. Not just going to camp and saying, you know what, I'm good. No matter what, nobody's pushing me. Nobody's pressing me to be better, to be the best version of myself. That, to me, is a clear example of leadership, showing and saying to his team, last year was not good enough. This is how we're going to get better. These are the expectations. If I didn't tell you in person, you're hearing it first here.
Yep.
This is what we're going to be. And it's also a sign to those younger players, telling them, you're not just here to be in a complimentary role. You can take something from someone if they're not working hard enough and you're playing better and you are working hard enough.
Well, that's the key right there. There is a certain expectation from the front office and coaching staff here right now that, like, what we did last year wasn't good enough.
No.
And what we did 2 years ago was completely unacceptable. So now we, as a front office and team, have done our best to restock the cupboards and to bring along players and make trades and do things that we have to do. Now, for you players, you have to go execute it. And we have a lot of guys now under contract, and those who aren't able to perform at the right level, or quite honestly, who are unwilling to give everything that they've got, they're expendable.
See ya.
We asked for your mic drops. I want to play Courtney's before we break. Here's Courtney.
First off, kudos to Doug Armstrong and the Blues front office ownership. We always say John Mozeliak can only do what ownership allows him to do. So the fact that the Blues ownership always keeps this winning mentality. Being average is not acceptable. Just getting into the playoffs is cool, but we want more. That's the type of ownership and front office that I can respect and appreciate. And we just don't have that in every sports front office that's here in the city. Average is unacceptable. And that's what they've been for the last couple of years. And they've made mistakes, but those mistakes were made in an effort to continue the winning mentality. So I can respect the mistakes that are made. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And Doug said he wants to leave the organization in a better place than with how he got it, and the man is doing just that. He's turning the organization around. He's making up for bad mistakes. So thank you, Doug.
There's a couple of things that Courtney talked about there that I want to get into next, including there's a certain word that he used that definitely you could feel that with Doug Armstrong, not so much with John Mozeliak or the Cardinals. That's next on 101 ESPN.
With over 2 decades of family ownership and operation, E&B Granite is St. Louis's trusted name in renovations, especially when it comes to your kitchen or your bathrooms or your outdoor living space. Those are all 3 great areas, and E&B Granite, they offer an extensive selection of custom countertops, all kinds of countertops. There's soapstone, there's the granite, there's all sorts of different selections, which is awesome. They also have a great selection of cabinets and flooring. They got a variety of colors, patterns, styles, anything you want. They've got you covered there. And all of that is backed by a skilled team of professional fabricators, installers, and the in-house design staff. And the in-house design staff did a fantastic job at my house, helped me redo the entire kitchen, and we ended up doing the countertops, the backsplash. It was awesome. I loved everything about it, and the experience was fantastic. And you will too. All you have to do is give them a call at 314-645-9300. Again, that's 314-645-9300. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. They love hearing that. And trust me, if you're doing your kitchen, your bathroom, or your outdoor living space, you're going to want my friends at E&B Granite taking care of that for you. Again, you can call them or you can visit them at enbgranite.com.
This wasn't anything against an organization. This was an attempt for us to get better. And that's the only reason we did it. It was successful, and we would do it again if we think it'd be successful. And again, that code that I have been hearing about, it's not true. It's managers do what they have to do for their franchises, and if they don't, they shouldn't be doing their job. It's like when you have two players, and I'll say Twister and Chaser, when they played together and then they played on different teams, they fought. They're great friends, they're best friends. Everyone has a job to do. You have to do your job. And so that's how we got to this point. I had to do my job.
And he did. That was Doug Armstrong earlier last hour at a press conference following the moves that they made to really make a really good trade with the Oilers. James, you broke it down earlier, too. It's not as though the Oilers got fleeced like we originally thought. They did make at least some headway in terms of getting getting a draft pick back and at least getting a prospect back. So it's not like they got absolutely nothing out of this.
No.
But let's be clear, the Blues still have... They've benefited more than the Oilers did at the end of the day.
Well, for this year, they did.
Yes, it's a smart, savvy move. We know what the Blues are getting in those two players.
Mm-hmm.
The Oilers, there's a lot more uncertainty. Flat out with you don't know who the draft pick is going to be, but also with this fifth-round prospect that they got from the Blues. So Army did a phenomenal job. When he says, yeah, I had to do my job, he did.
Yeah, he did. And Stan Bowman did his job. You know, Stan Bowman has to look out for the team and try to hang on to the superstars. Draisaitl and Evan Bouchard are two of the stars on that team. Draisaitl, a superstar. Their contracts were going to conflict with all of this next year.
Yeah.
So Stan Bowman had to sit there and say, okay, I like Broberg. I like Holloway. But who has a bigger impact on this team? Is it Evan Bouchard or Philip Broberg? Evan Bouchard has a bigger impact. We're probably going to have to pay him. So, okay. Who has a bigger impact, Holloway or Draisaitl? I think that's pretty easy. Leon Draisaitl. And that's where he made his decision. Then he filled in the gaps with Amberson from San Jose, who he's going to be a real good player. Is he going to be a star? No, he's going to be a steady defenseman for them on the right-handed side, which is where they were playing Broberg to begin with. He didn't want to play the right side. He's a left-handed shot. So now they got a right-handed defenseman that's 23 or 24 years old that's going to slide in there as well. So the Oilers are going to be okay. And they'll have cap space at the deadline if they choose to go acquire somebody, a rental per se. But no, I like Army's strategy on this. And look, man, I think as a fan base, no matter what sport it is, I think you just want your team, your front office, and your ownership group to want to win as bad as you do. And I think that that's where some of the Cardinals fans get very upset, is because they're passionate fans, and they don't feel that same passion from John Mozeliak. They used to feel it with, like, Tony La Russa. They felt it with Whitey. They felt it with Walt Jocketty. Like, the old school guys that kind of wore their emotions on their sleeves. I feel like the fan base here treated them like, okay, they're one of us. They're passionate about the Cardinals baseball team. And when you start to step into the modern-day front office for the Cardinals, and not every move John Mozeliak has made has been bad. He's made some very good moves. He's got a lot of really good young players on this team that they've drafted, they developed. So it's not all just huge black mark. The problem is that it doesn't feel like they're ever going for it. It doesn't feel like they're willing to step out of the lane just a little bit. No, back in line here.
Right.
We're very, this is what we're going to do, and net. And
right.
And that whole thing, I think there's just a massive disconnect between the front office and the fan base. Whereas Army, he talks about, how he didn't care. He'd offer sheet against his mother if he had to. And I mean, Army gives us all these funny quotes and things like that. But then he backs it up by doing things that basically, they back up what he's already said. Yeah. And I think that's what the fan base wants. They want to see a front office, no matter what sport. This is not Blues versus Cardinals. Could be anybody, where it looks like the team wants to win.
And this also goes into what Courtney said before. I said that there was a word that he used that I thought was spot on, and the word was urgency. There does feel like urgency with the Blues. It's not that, sometimes you talk about this, right? It's like, well, you guys are just kissing the Blues ass and you're criticizing the Cardinals constantly. All right, you're right to feel that way if you want to. But here's what we're talking about. Urgency doesn't mean perfection. Urgency doesn't mean success. Urgency doesn't mean production. Urgency means you're going to be pushing the ball forward constantly. In this case with the Blues, at least urgency in the context of these two teams. Urgency is Doug Armstrong making some moves that have some sort of linear progress to it. Okay, I'm going to make this move, then this move, then this move, then I'm going to counter with this move. He's moving forward. It doesn't mean he didn't make mistakes.
Right.
A lot of people are like, well, Army's made some mistakes too. Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
And so does Army.
But no, Army's made mistakes.
Yes, Army knows too.
That he's made mistakes. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So when Courtney says there seems to be urgency there, I couldn't agree more with it.
Right.
Whereas you flip it to the Cardinals, has Mo made some great moves? Yeah. Has Mo fleeced teams in his tenure? Yeah. Has he also made bad moves that set the organization back? Yes. Now, what has he done to improve upon that, or to make up for that, or to at least alter the ship a little bit to head in a different direction?
Anthony, we're going towards the iceberg, and we're not turning direction. And you deal with it.
Well, you're going to sink.
Maybe. It's the Titanic.
But we might
sink.
not.
That's what they said, right?
Trust me. Hey.
No.
It's made of steel. Trust me, sir. It can sink.
Can it?
It's made of steel.
It did.
It did, but it wasn't supposed to.
Listen, I took the tour in Branson. All right?
The water was cold, wasn't it?
Even the engineer was like...
It was designed poorly, Carey.
I think it was designed just fine. I think the marketing behind it wasn't accurate. Even the engineer's like, I don't know what the hell this guy's talking about.
This boat actually
This
can
is made
sink.
of steel. I promise you, this puppy can go down. Let's be smart here.
I think the difference is Army is like, you know what, 2 years of not making the playoffs is not good enough. And the Cardinals, and I was thinking about this. I wonder if Mo is like, because it's baseball, right? Because it's such a long season, there's time. Like this mindset, there's no urgency because we play 162 games. We got time. We're not playing well in June. We're not playing well in April. It's early. It's early. We're not playing well in July. We still got time. August, we still got time. Like there's always time, air quotes, in baseball because the season is so long. But when you are, I think every person, I'm sure, in this room for sure, we all looked at the Brandon Crawford signing like, what the hell, what's going on here?
I couldn't.
And this is no knock against him because he was a great player in San Francisco. When they signed him, we were like, what was that? And then when we saw him, we were like, what the hell is going on? He was heavier and out of shape. And this is no disrespect. He knows it. We as athletes know it. He was not prepared to play baseball based on how he looked.
I don't think he trained probably at all. Probably thinking that phone ain't ringing.
Him, and we all did it. Like when I told you, when I knew I was done, I went to a bar in Tampa at the airport, bought a beer, burger, and fries, and said it's over. And I'm going to drink as many beers as I like. Right now, I don't need to worry about what I look like in terms of being prepared to block an NFL linebacker. That's what happens. And that's how I'm assuming that's what he did. But somebody said, nope. You know what? Sight unseen, sold. We'll take you.
He was Jake Taylor. He's
yes.
like, who?
Get on, Mexican. I'll call you back.
At least you could have said you're from the Yankees.
So let's isolate that just for a second. Now that the Brandon Crawford era is over in St. Louis, are you telling me there wasn't another shortstop out there that could have been a backup shortstop that was better than Brandon Crawford? And Crawdaddy, he made some good defensive plays that he could get to when but there's some that he just couldn't get to anymore.
Brandon Crawford's tenure here will be remembered going 5 for 8 versus Neris, and we're going to put him up and he struck out. That's what he will be remembered for. Not Nolan Gorman, not anyone else that has played against this guy in the last 5 years would have been better. Hell, somebody that hasn't played against him in the last 5 years. But that's how that's unfortunate for him because he had a hell of a career in San Francisco. I told you, he's one of my favorite players. Gave my son his first ever baseball.
Nice.
Never forget that. Like, he was one of the nicest, just great human being and a great baseball player in San Francisco. But his tenure here will be remembered for why was he signed? And then that moment in Chicago where he was called up to the plate and struck out. Hey, the numbers bear it out. Do they? Do the damn numbers bear it out, man?
3 pitch strikeout.
15 years ago, I was great. I ain't now. What the hell did that have to do with today? Who the hell cares, man?
I'm just reminded, when you talk about that, I'm reminded of the scene in Wedding Singer when the old guy goes to punch the guy. He goes, I'm sorry, I used to be much stronger.
It's like Crawdaddy went back to the dugout. I'm sorry, I used to be much better.
Sandler gets punched. He looks at him and he's like, what the hell, man?
What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I used to be much stronger.
In 2019, I owned this guy.
It's so frustrating to me because I don't know, man. It's frustrating. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for the fans that pay their money, that show up to games, that watch games. Like it's not right. And again, what Doug Armstrong did today over the last week, making those deals, deciding to attack the Oilers in the way that he did, and not giving a damn about who the GM. If it could be my mother, I would have done the same thing, and she knows that. So whatever. And you have the opposite of it, and you're like, well, what are we doing? Like, what is the direction? I don't care where we're going. Just tell me where the hell. I don't care what route you take. I don't care how long it takes to get there. I'm not driving. Just tell me where we're going.
Yeah.
Don't put me in the damn car and I'm riding in circles for 3 hours.
What about a blindfold?
No, hell no. Don't blindfold me.
No?
Especially now with Jamie.
Some people are into it.
Some are.
They like the risk. They don't know where they're going.
Let's hear from John Mozeliak before we exit.
I've been listening, and I just can't take it anymore. I want to set the record straight. And look, we obviously know that the season hasn't gone the way we expected it to, and I think that's a huge surprise to everybody with the roster that we put together. I do think some of the blame towards myself is a little unwarranted and unfair because Gersh is a GM. But, we tried to buy some time, in the media and taking this, all this slander off by, having the Blues make a big deal. And what I'm trying to say is we should get some credit for the deal today, because I've obviously been, knees deep in fantasy hockey research this past month. And, I know a lot about Broberg and Holloway. And, but lo and behold, Gersh is an absolute dog at hockey. He knew all about, these offer sheets and cap space. And Gersh is like a savant when it comes to being a GM at hockey. So we called up Doug. We said, hey, we could use a distraction and offered this whole plan to him. And, all Doug did was make the calls and put it into action. So thought we were good with him getting the credit, but now we're not. So I think we deserve a big thanks and a lot of credit for this move today. And, we'll eventually get back to thinking about the Cardinals and how we can better this club.
Great stuff from John Mozeliak here on the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. All right, if you missed it, Jordan Walker sent down, Luke and Baker up, Matt Carpenter activated, Brandon Crawford, he was granted his unconditional release. What are they doing with Jordan Walker? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, sometimes as men, when we grow older, we get more fatigued, more stressed out, more irritable, and you're trying to figure out, it's just life. No, it's low testosterone. And it doesn't matter if you're 20, 30, 40, 50 years old. At some point, we all go through it, which is why I went into Mentality and sat down with their board-certified physicians. Had a great conversation, by the way. Just an awesome group of people over there. Then they take the blood panel, and you find out exactly what's going on. I realized, this is why I'm not having the success that I want. I'm low in testosterone as well as a couple other vitamins. And now I'm on the peptide therapy that has really helped me with old injuries and energy levels and things like that. Mentality is just the best.
Well, Jamie, you talk about, it's life. Okay, even if it was just life, if we said, hey, you could do something about it and it's safe and it's covered by your insurance and it's going to improve your health, would you want to do it? I mean, for us, the answer was easy. It was yes. So that's why we got into Mentality. But, personally, when it comes to, the week rolls on, I got 3 little ones, you've got multiple jobs, you've got kids, everything going on in life, it can feel overwhelming. You get stressed out. You can feel irritable. But when it comes to Mentality's program, that increase in testosterone, it allows us to work out. It allows us to eat, have the focus and everything and the drive to get into the gym, to eat right, to work hard, and do all the things that we did 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and we feel great. And you can too. 2 locations, one in South County, one in Chesterfield. If you want to check them out online first, no problem. lowtusa.com. Tell them Jamie and Anthony sent you. It's Mentality. Cardinals doing with Jordan Walker? They sent him down today. We know that part of it. But in terms of his development, what is the flipping game plan? Carey Davis, James Rivers, Anthony Stalter. Well, maybe some insight can be helpful here. Listen to what Mo said at the All-Star break when asked. No?
I think we're doing Ollie first.
Why would we do the Ollie one first?
I would want to do Mo first.
I would do, yeah.
Would you?
The audio for
The audio for Mo first. I think that would make sense. But Marsh.
Never mind.
Marsh, hop on the mic, kid. Hop on the mic.
The old guy, sorry.
Wouldn't it make sense to do Mo first?
I agree.
It would, except for this question was asked to Ali first, and then Mo talked about it after, and this is a different clip.
All right. Let's play Ollie first. That's why I asked.
I'm going to do Ollie first.
Yeah.
We're going to do Ollie first.
Say we all do him.
It's a little bit longer.
Do Ollie, yeah.
It's about 2 minutes. Here's Ollie.
Yeah, let's talk through that. I don't have an issue talking through that one because I've gotten the question quite a bit. And there's some assumptions of if you call the kid up, you play him every day compared to the situation that we're currently in. So Carp goes down with an injury. He was going to be unavailable for that series in Cincy. So therefore, it's hard to just play a man, make the move. And what you're thinking through here is this, and a couple of things come to mind. You need someone that could play the outfield if you're going to make that move, because our biggest issue has been production against left-handed pitching. So being able to pick a spot for either a Donovan, a Burleson, or a Newt to be on the bench and come off the bench and play somebody against a left-hander, it preferably be somebody that could kind of roam the outfield, because Pajes is catching and Contreras is going to take the DH spot against left-handed pitching. So that eliminated at the time some of the other options. And when you look at Walker, one of the questions that was brought up is, all right, he's a reverse split guy. Well, one, it's not an extreme reverse split guy, but I understand the argument. The better question isn't that he hits right-handers better than he hits left-handers as much as does he hit left-handers better than our left-handers hit left-handers? And the answer to that is 100% yes. And then the next question you need to ask yourself is, does he hit right-handers better than our left-handers hit right-handers? And Burleson's done a nice job. Donnie's done a nice job. Newt's in a little bit of a funk, and he's working on getting back on track. But our need was for someone to come in and help against left-handed pitching. That is what he came up here to do based on an injury. So that is his role at the moment, and we'll continue to monitor where we're at.
So that was Ollie Marmol regarding Jordan Walker and what the plan was. But the problem I have with that, guys, is it's not factual. It's just not. Like, if Ollie's using the numbers versus left-handed pitching throughout AAA and the majors, maybe it's factual. But at the major league level, Brendan Donovan and Alec Burleson, their OPS is higher than Walker versus left-handed pitching at the major league level. So that's not factual. So if Ollie's saying that against left-handed pitching, he's better than our left-handed bats, well, maybe against left-handed pitching in AAA, but it's not factual at the major league level. So right there, I have a problem with that. He's either misinforming us or he doesn't know the numbers.
Correct. He interprets the numbers to mean something else.
Maybe.
Which means that it's like, hey, the eye test is different when I'm watching him up against lefties and righties. But if so, then just explain that. So go ahead.
I have a question.
But numbers are numbers.
I get confused sometimes with this game, and I love baseball, but sometimes I don't understand it. He said he needed to bring up a position player that could play the outfield because Matt Carpenter was going to the IL.
Yeah.
How many games has Matt Carpenter played in the outfield this year?
Oh, zero.
Okay. So you had to bring up an outfielder to replace an infielder.
A bench bat, basically.
Yes.
That makes sense?
No.
Okay, because Matt Carpenter has played a few games at first base. He's DH'd most of the games this season, played one game at second base. Seems to me that if you needed a right-handed bat to fill a void, then you probably could have gotten Luke and Baker from the jump instead of bringing
That's correct.
Jordan Walker up and yo-yoing and doing all of this nonsense. So when I hear people talk and they're just saying words that don't equate to the decisions that they're making, I don't believe it. Like, I don't believe that what you're saying makes factual sense, because why do you need to bring an outfielder up to platoon him when you didn't send an outfielder down? You sent an infielder to the IL. A guy that's played 4 games at first, 32 games as a DH, and 1 game at second base. Sounds like Luke and Baker to me.
Yeah, so, Carey, let's dive a little bit further into this, because you'd imagine that, John Mozeliak and Ollie Marmol probably on the same page when it comes to Jordan Walker. We just heard Ollie talk about Jordan Walker being a platoon for a left-handed bat, and he's not going to play all the time. John Mozeliak was asked a similar to same question, and here's his response.
Yeah, I think a couple things. One, he was definitely swinging the bat well, and in terms of my philosophy, in terms of how you think about young players, they really do need to be playing. So ultimately, we just have to look at what the schedule looks like, who we're facing, and map out a plan. And if we're not going to find every day at bats for him, then we may have to rethink that. But, ultimately, you got to remind yourself he's still young. He's still growing as a player. And I would say, like, the last 5 weeks have definitely been encouraging on what we were seeing out of him. And, we have to remind ourselves and remain disciplined that we have to be patient there.
Another be patient. All right.
It's a little different than what Mo said, or that Ollie said.
Well, and there's one big problem, then we'll get into that. By the way, that audio is courtesy of KMOX.
Yeah.
KMOX with the audio. I referenced a different Ollie piece from the All-Star break. That was my fault. KMOX. So let's properly credited them. But what Mo just said, he just outlined what the biggest issue is with the Cardinals. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Complete customer satisfaction has always been the #1 priority at Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. I was talking to Johnny today and talking about the great deals that are going on right now at Londoff before the summer closes out. And we were also talking about how price brings people in, but it's the great service that keeps them coming back. And I talked to Johnny about that. I said, look, the price is great, but it's the customer service, which is why I have been a customer for over 25 years. My girlfriend's a customer. My kids are customers of Londoff Chevrolet. Why? Because I know that they're in great hands over there, not just with the sales staff, but with the service staff as well. And here are some of the deals right now that are going on at Londoff Chevrolet. Let's say you're looking for Chevy 2024 Chevy Silverado 1500 Custom Trail Boss. I do drive this truck. It is fantastic. Suggested retail price $67,030. You pay $54,030. That's Londoff savings of $13,000. $1,000, and that's just one of many. And if you have a trade-in, don't worry, Johnny Londoff will give you top dollar for your trade-in. That is a Londoff guarantee. So please get to either location. They've got great inventory, whether it's brand new or pre-owned. And you got the Florissant location and now the Londoff Autoplex located out in St. Peters. Get in there. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. They love hearing that stuff. If you can't get there in person, get there online. Visit them at londoff.com or londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
.101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. If you're driving around, take a second because I have some roster moves for you from your St. Louis Cardinals. If you have not heard, Matt Carpenter has been activated from the 10-day injured list. Lucan Baker has been recalled from Memphis. Brandon Crawford has been granted his unconditional release. And Jordan Walker has been optioned to Memphis. We are going to continue talking about that throughout the remainder of the show, so stay with us. We also had Doug Armstrong's press conference at the beginning of the show as the Blues now have officially acquired Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg from the Edmonton Oilers. If you missed the press conference, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find it there. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. The Cardinals, they take on the Milwaukee Brewers tonight. First pitch is at 6:45 with Eric Fedde on the mound going up against Frankie Montas. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
I'm not sure if you guys are about to have a segment on this Jordan Walker back to AAA move, but I just fell to my knees in a mobile on the run after reading that he was sent back down to AAA after being brought up to sit on the damn bench. What in the hell are we doing?
Yeah, that was Anthony, and we don't know. I wish we could help. I do, but we don't know either. Here's the thing. When you heard Mo and Ollie talking in that last segment, the audio that we played from KMOX, one of the bigger issues The underlying issue, if you hear both of them talk, is that there is no connection between the front office and the manager. There's no cohesion there. I believe there's cohesion and connection between the ownership and Mo. That seems to be working just fine. The ownership group says, here's your budget, here's what we want, and we want to be profitable at the end of the year. And then Mo says, okay, I'll take my $85K and I'll spend on one player, whoever the top free agent is, and then we're good. And then boom. They're good. But there's no connection, there's no cohesion between the GM / president and now the manager. When Mo is talking about, bringing up Jordan Walker, yeah, he's got to play. So we have to look at the schedule to figure out when there might be some opportunities where he's going to play a lot. So he did. And he brings up Jordan Walker. And the kid largely sat on the bench. Mm-hmm. There's no connection there.
I would like to point out that Ollie, during the offseason, sat down with Xavier Scruggs and let the entire world know that the decisions on game day are solely his.
It's always been that way.
But there's been questions about, well, Mo makes the lineup and Mo tells him
Mo doesn't make the lineup. So whoever's been saying that,
but no,
is inaccurate.
That's always been the narrative. But Ollie crushed that in the offseason. He let you know, this is my decision. So you own this. You own it. You made a decision. The guy was brought up. You made a decision not to play him. That's your decision because you told us that. You decided to bat him against left-handed pitching, which he's not better than any one of your left-handed hitters, which he lied to about, on your roster. Well, the ones that aren't playing, Newt, Gorman, they have better OPSs versus left-handed pitching than Jordan Walker does. So you made that decision, poor decision. 1, to not play him. 2, to play him solely against lefties, where he's not really good yet. That's your decision. You own that. So here we are. Mo will take a lot of crap. If Mo made the decision to send Jordan Walker back down, I will tip my cap to him. Because there's no way, in my mind, that Mo is saying you're going to ruin this young player. I will give John Mozeliak credit. You brought him up with the expectation. We talked about it. He needs to play every day. He's hitting the ball really well in Memphis. He needs to be out there every day. We need a right-handed bat. He should be playing. And then the manager decides, no, I'm going to platoon him. Left-handed pitching. Well, he's not really good. Nah, he's better than our guys. Well, I'm looking at the numbers. That's what I want to do. And so if John Mozeliak is the one that said, you know what, the hell with this, you are not going to ruin this young man, I tip my cap to him for that decision. Because there has to be an adult in the room. And whatever the hell that was, that 2-week experience that we just saw with Jordan Walker, you shouldn't have brought him up. But I can't blame Mo for that because that was the right decision. And if Mo decided to send him down because he wasn't playing, that is also the right decision. And Ali should take the brunt of the blame for what happens going forward if this young man's career does not reach the heights or the expectation that we wanted to.
Yeah, so for me, the issue is the disconnect between the front office and the manager and what the plans are with what is supposed to be your brightest young star right now. I mean, Mason Wynn's a full-time major leaguer, so I kind of take him out of that category because Jordan Walker's not an everyday big leaguer yet. So he's your highest prospect that you have. That'd be my opinion. Would you agree to that?
Yes.
Jordan Walker?
Yes.
So you're not on the same page with the development of what you would categorize to be your best young player. That's a problem for me because everybody should be in lockstep at that point about how the development's going to go with this player and what the next steps are and how they're going to handle him and all this stuff. That should have been taken care of before the season started. If nothing else, at least a conference call a month into it when things weren't going well. Hey, pause. This is what we're going to do. We're going to change it this way. But that didn't happen. And so then you put the player in a tough spot. And then Ollie, we've talked about this before, it feels like John Mozeliak finally stepped in. It's like when a manager or coach keeps playing a guy that's no good, and finally the guy, the GM or the president just trades the player. Now you can't play him.
Mo did that. Mo has done that before.
So
he did that with Mike Matheny when Mike kept playing Alan Craig, and Alan Craig was damaged. So Mo shipped Alan Craig and Joe Kelly to Boston to free up a spot for Oscar Taveras. It's like, hey, You got to play him now. I'm calling the kid up. Your right fielder is now playing for the Boston Red Sox or one of their minor league affiliates. What are you going to do?
Well, that's my point. So now it feels like John Mozeliak has taken the toy away from Ollie and said, you're not going to do what you're doing with him because that's not the plan. So guess what? He's going back to Memphis. That's disconnect. It feels like this is a bumpy road that's going to get worse.
There should be a healthy amount of pushback between a manager, a coach, and the front office. But a healthy amount of pushback. There should be some, friction between the two. But not when you're not on the same page about the game plan, which I don't think they are. Either or we're just misreading it wrong. But I don't know.
think we're reading it wrong.
The results aren't good, so
no.
I don't think we're reading it wrong.
Whether it's like a right church, wrong pew situation for us, either way, they stink. This is not the production isn't there. All right, lineup game is next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Fastline on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. Time to play the lineup game.
You know what, fellas? Thought about this during the break. I may boycott.
No.
I may sit this one out.
Oh, Carey, you can't.
What difference does it make?
Well, it means a lot to us to have you part of the team.
I'll take his place. I'll help you guys out.
There you go. Marshy, have you looked at the lineup?
Answers.
Oh, that's right. I'll give you the answers to the test.
Yeah,
So, Carey,
somebody should.
Carey, I don't want what's happening to the Cardinals to happen to you. Okay?
Right.
I don't need you to be a lifeless radio partner of mine. I need that fire. I need Scary Carey back.
They are taking it out of me, man.
I know. Well, let's put it back in you. Okay?
Nah, I don't want to put it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Okay.
Carey's ready for the lineup now. See?
Okay. All right, the Milwaukee Brewers are in town. They've absolutely owned your face. Tonight, for Milwaukee, they will send Frankie Montas to the hill. Frankie Montas has been fine, but so have you. Mason Wynn, everybody.
Yeah.
Sure.
There.
No, Carey? No.
Mason Wynn. Show us Mason Wynn.
Thank you.
I'm watching the Futures game, and this thing's all over Instagram. It's like, this guy threw a ball 100 across the time. That's awesome, but, like, how many throwing errors does he have?
Shut up! Jamie, go ahead.
Who's on the bump?
Frankie Montas.
Is righty, right?
Correct.
Alec Burleson. Show us Burley.
Kind of closed my eyes and swung at it and did what I wanted to do.
Burley to the rescue!
There we go.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Show us Wilson Contreras.
DH. No.
Chismet. Check.
Go ahead.
You are. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, do it. No, you do it. You do it. You go ahead. Who you got?
Wow.
Who's
mad
here?
at you now?
Nah.
Why are you mad at me?
No, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at anybody. Except for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Anthony, go ahead. It's your guy.
You think so?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's Ollie. He's just going to roll the same crap out. Go ahead.
Show us. No.
No.
Oh, wow. He's been optioned, too.
Show us.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
Brendan Donovan.
Oh.
Donnie.
Hey, this headband's pretty cool.
If it's not Arenado, it's been Donovan.
Yeah, you're right. Now, though? It's got to be now, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Show us. Nolan Arenado.
He's a Gold Glove
There it
winner
is.
and perennial All-Star.
Oh, listen to Mr. Gold Glove over here.
Come on.
Is Goldie? Or does Gorman get a chance to play again?
No, never.
Goldie.
If Goldie.
Yeah. Show us Paul Goldschmidt.
You're wrong.
He's in the 7-hole.
Who's batting sixth then? Tommy Pham? No, he's a righty
It's a
on the
righty.
bump. Sorry.
That's why I said Gorman or Matt Carpenter.
You think?
I don't think anymore. All right, there's a text from this 314 saying CD is definitely imploding at the moment. Yeah, it might be.
At the moment. He has since 2 p.m. today.
Yeah.
No, actually,
about 2:30.
2:30, yeah.
Because I was good from 2 to 2:30.
He was in great mood.
I was in a great mood.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, if Goldie is 7th, who would be 8?
Paez.
No, it's a righty on the bump.
He's been hitting the ball well.
Well, if it's a righty on the bump, this is Newt.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Sure.
Show us Lars, Taylor, Tatsui, Newt Bar.
What makes you
There it
think
is.
she's a witch? Well, she turned me into a newt. A newt. Got better.
All right, I agree with you. I think this is Goldie now.
All right, show us Paul Goldschmidt.
Gold. Rich with gold.
All right, Sue.
So we need a center fielder, which is going to
Scott.
be Victor Scott.
That'll be 9.
And we've got Donovan at second, or does Gorman get a chance to play? Batting 8.
Well, your outfields could look like Donovan,
Newt,
and Scott. Yeah, so this is Gorman.
All right. Show us the popcorn guy, please.
Get your fresh organic popcorn.
Get your popcorn ready.
All right. Carey, you finish this off.
Show us Victor Scott second.
Great Scott. Too fast, too fast.
Focus. Speed. I am speed.
That was the ultimate. Let's just get this over with.
Yeah, I know. I don't like that.
Let's just get it.
I don't like that from Carey. Carey never took a down off in his NFL career. He's not going to take one off here.
Let's just get this.
You know what, Jamie? I played for a well-rounded organization in Pittsburgh that gave me, I had life and energy.
So who do you play for here? You play for us.
For you all.
So we're a well-rounded, somewhat organization.
Show us Victor Scott II.
Go again. Okay, he's hot. Go again.
Come on, man.
Great.
There you go.
Focus. Speed.
Doesn't matter. We got him back.
I'm just kidding. I got to keep you on your toes.
Short circuit for a second.
So did I.
I just wanted to see what would happen.
Don't do that. Hurt my neck.
All right, Marsh, run it.
Okay. Oh, boy. All right, leading off the shortstop, Mason Wynn. Batting second, your DH, Alec Burleson. Batting third, catching, Wilson Contreras. Your cleanup hitter, left fielder, Brendan Donovan. Batting fifth, third baseman, I'm just going to do it, Nolan Arenado.
Yep.
Batting sixth, in right field, Lars Nootbaar. Batting seventh, first baseman, Paul Goldschmidt. Batting eighth, second baseman, Nolan Gorman. And batting ninth, Victor Scott II. He's playing center field.
Go foul, go foul!
I don't believe what I just saw.
Home run.
I appreciate Marshy standing with me.
Guys, everything is not doom and gloom. Anthony actually gained a point on Friday because of Paul Goldschmidt's home run.
Wow.
He's now up to 9 points.
Oh, Anthony. Hot on my heels.
Really good.
What are you, 10?
11.
11?
I got 11.
When did you get 11?
I've had 11 for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Where was I?
Yeah, a lot further down.
I was on a hot streak. I had like 2 3-pointers back to back and missed one because I chose the wrong guy.
All right. Okay. Marsh?
Give me... Oh, God. Give me Luke and Baker.
God, don't get Marsh.
I don't know. It just feels right, doesn't it?
It should.
I don't know if he'll be the first option off the bench, though. I feel like Tommy Pham could be that guy, especially since they need that right-handed bat to be an outfielder. But I'll stay with Luke and Baker.
But Burley's a left-handed bat. So if it goes to a left-handed, we heard Ollie. I mean, Burley's OPS is no good against lefties, so.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it's a lefty, you would put, I don't know where you'd put Baker.
Baker would slide in at DH for Burley.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to be positive here for you.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think he wants to be positive. Okay, fine, Marshy, have it your way. I, on the other hand, I'm going to go with Tommy Pham off the bench. I got to catch our guy, Marshy.
Give me Matt Carpenter off the bench. The hell difference does it make, Anthony?
I don't know if I like this new look Carey here.
I'm trying to win. That will give me 10 points.
Do you want Pedro Pajes off the bench, Anthony?
No, give me Wilson Contreras. I'll just keep chipping away.
Matriculate the ball down the field.
Yep, that's correct.
Anthony's playing Whitey ball.
I am. You know what? If it's good enough for Whitey, it's good enough for me. All right, we have a returning Gauntlet contestant.
Yeah, we do. Our guy Alex.
Next on 101 ESPN. Jamie, when it comes to securing that perfect home loan with the best interest rate or one that you can refi at any point because your lender is on top of things, Stewie's got to be your guy. Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. He's incredible. He's helped so many borrowers within the St. Louis area that, he hands out his personal cell phone number. He wants you to call him or text him. Especially if you're in a tight spot, you need some money, you need to take out some money to maybe pay off some credit card debt, or maybe you want to do some home remodeling. It doesn't matter what the purpose is. He knows that you're trying to live your life and you're trying to live it as best and as easy as possible. That's why Stewie does what he does. He wants to help people.
How about purchasing a home? That's tricky. Right now, it is very tricky. The interest rates are high, then they're low, they get better, and then they get high again, and you're worried about locking in. Don't worry about it. Stewie's got the bagel loan, is where you borrow $200,000 or more. There's no underwriting fees, no appraisal fees, no title fees, no lender fees, no closing costs. And if you refinance, you can also use the bagel loan for that as well. So it costs you, again, zero closing costs and all that. And all you have to do is call Stewie. Anthony mentioned he's got his personal cell phone number, and he gives it out. And we're going to give it out. Number's 314-324-4440.
Again, 314-324-4440.
If you can't remember that, Anthony, what can they do?
You can always Google the bagel loan.
NMLS number 226715.
Warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
All right, time for the Gauntlet here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 401. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, and John is on the line, otherwise known as Alex, according to Jamie Rivers. What's up, John?
How's it going, guys?
Going great, my man. So you knocked off Carey yesterday. Mm-hmm. Who would you like to take on today, Marsh, Jamie, or me?
I'll take off Stalter.
Uh-oh.
Was that you, he said? Stalter?
Yes, I think so.
Ooh,
yeah.
Boy.
All right, John, you make me nervous. Good luck, buddy.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Well, at least you got a good lock today.
Yeah.
Carey didn't get that yesterday.
Really?
John. Yeah, no.
I had my headphones off. I didn't
He
hear it.
basically said beat it. It was odd.
He did.
Then he did.
Beat the hell out of me.
Yep. All right, John, it's that time where you tell my guy Marshy to spin that wheel.
Spin the wheel, Marshy.
All right, so you didn't want hockey yesterday. Is the same strategy today?
Yeah, but if I have to get hockey, I guess I'm glad I'm going against Stalter, I guess.
Okay, so we updated Anthony's record. Anthony's record in hockey is actually 11-3, right, Marshy?
That is correct.
John, you got Anthony today, and you got hockey.
All right.
Gonna be a tough one, buddy. All right, as Marshy is handing out the questions here, format is, as always, there'll be 4 questions, each of them worth 2 points. If you have to use the options and answer it correctly, you get 1 point. And, of course, if you answer wrong, you get 0 points. If we're tied after 4 questions, we will have a tiebreaker. And, John, we will get a winner in the Gauntlet today. Are you ready?
Ready to go.
Okay, bud. Here we go. Again, the category is hockey. Question number 1. The last time Anthony's San Jose Sharks were in the playoffs was when the Blues beat them in the Western Conference Final in 2019. How many goals did the Blues score when they eliminated San Jose in that Game 6?
What a season. It's like 4-5. Go with 5, final answer.
Question number 2. The last time the Blues were in the playoffs, which player scored with 6 seconds left in the game to defeat the Blues in Game 6 by a score of 3-2, eliminating them from the playoffs?
Avalanche player. Give me the option.
Is it J.T. Compher, Andre Borowski, or Darren Helm?
Give me the first one.
Compher?
Yeah.
Final answer?
Yes.
Question number 3. In that Game 6 against the Avalanche in 2022, Jordan Kyrou scored the Blues' second goal of the game, but which Blues defenseman opened the scoring?
Take a shot and say Nicoletti, final answer.
All right, John, we're on to last question here. When the Avalanche defeated the Blues in 2022, they went on to defeat which team in the Western Conference Final?
They did the Lightning. Stanley Cup Final. Give me the option.
Was it the Dallas Stars, the Edmonton Oilers, or the Calgary Flames?
Edmonton.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right. Let's get our guy Anthony back in here while he's coming in. John, how you feeling, bud?
Not the greatest. Not the biggest hockey guy.
All right, I hear you. Well, Anthony's plugging in his ears here. Anthony, how's Cone of Silence today?
We're rocking out to Little Smashing Pumpkins, who are going to be in town.
They are going to be in town.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a heck of a show.
Yep.
Heck of a show. Hope you packed a lunch here today.
I actually did. I ate it before the show.
There you
Good.
Go. Good.
I should have packed a snack.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe a snack, yeah. Your category, Anthony, is hockey.
Yes! That's my category, huh, boys?
Your MAC.
It's not the same.
It's my MAC.
It's not the same reaction John had when he heard hockey.
Okay.
Question 1. The last time Anthony's San Jose Sharks were in the playoffs was when the Blues beat them in the Western Conference Final in 2019. How many goals did the Blues score when they eliminated San Jose in that Game 6?
Oh, I think they delivered quite a beating that night, but I don't know the actual goal number, so can I have the options?
Yes. Was it 4, 5, or 6?
Let's split the difference, shall we? Let's say 5.
Okay. Final answer?
Okay.
Question number 2. The last time the Blues were in the playoffs, which player scored with 6 seconds left in the game to defeat the Blues in Game 6 by a score of 3-2, eliminating them from the playoffs?
So the last time the Blues were in the playoffs,
which player scored with 6 seconds left in the game to defeat the Blues in Game 6 by a score of 3-2, eliminating them from the playoffs?
So that would have been the Avalanche. But who scored the winner?
Can I have the options, please? Is it J.T. Compher, Andre Burakovsky, or Darren Helm?
Wow. I don't remember it being Burkowski, or I'll just go with Helm, but I'll go with Helm. Final answer.
Question number 3. In that Game 6 against the Avalanche in 2022, Jordan Kyrou scored the Blues' second goal of the game. But which Blues defenseman opened the scoring?
These are tough today. Options.
Options are Colton Parayko, Justin Falk, or Nick Leddy.
I don't think it was Leddy. Parayko seems obvious. Justin Falk. Final answer.
Final question. When the Avalanche defeated the Blues in 2022, they went on to defeat which team in the Western Conference Final?
The Avalanche?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that was the Oilers, because everybody was talking about like a high-scoring-esque Western Conference Final. Yeah, Oilers. I'm pretty confident it was the Oilers. I'm not going to take the options. Oilers, final answer. That one I feel.
Okay.
Until Marsh did the. I felt okay about that until the end. The other one's not so great. But I feel good about the Oilers one.
Yeah. Let's go over these. Let's start right there, actually. When the Avalanche defeated the Blues in 2022, they went on to defeat which team in the Western Conference Final? John, you said the Oilers. Anthony, you also said the Oilers. Answer is
the Oilers.
But Anthony did not need the options. Anthony up 2-1 after one. Let's go to the next question. Question number 2. The last time the Blues were in the playoffs, which player scored with 6 seconds left in the game to defeat the Blues in Game 6 by a score of 3-2, eliminating them from the playoffs? John, you said JT Compher with the options. Anthony, with the options, you said Darren Helm. Answer is?
It is Darren Helm.
Darren Helm. Anthony up 3-1. Let's go to the first question. The last time Anthony's San Jose Sharks were in the playoffs was when the Blues beat them. It's in the question. So when the Blues beat them in the Western Conference Final in 2019. How many goals did the Blues score when they eliminated San Jose in that Game 6? John, you said 5. Anthony, you said 5. Answer is
5.
But John did not need the options.
Oh, John, you sneaky you-know-what.
So we're sitting
you
right
sneaky
now.
mother fast lane.
After 3, it's 4-3 Anthony. And the final question. Question 3. In that Game 6 against the Avalanche in 2022, Jordan Kyrou scored the Blues' second goal of the game. But which Blues defenseman opened the scoring? John, without the options, said Nick Leddy, who was an option.
Uh-oh.
Anthony, with the options, you said Justin Falk. One of you is correct.
Oh, no.
If John is right with Nick Leddy, he'll win today 5-4 over Anthony. If Anthony is correct, he walks away with a 5-3 win. John.
You have chosen poorly.
What is it? Did he choose I messed it up.
He chose poorly.
The answer,
I hit the wrong button.
The answer is Justin Falk on that one. John, he got you today, bud. John, just hang up on us?
Yeah.
Yep.
He hates
Like
us
that.
right now.
Yes.
John, you with us?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Sorry about that. Anthony got you today, 5-3. You said hockey wasn't your category, and Anthony now continues to roll. He's 12-3 in hockey.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Good job,
John.
Thanks a lot, John. Take care, buddy.
Dude,
that was
I know you didn't mean to do that. That was incredible.
He hit both of them, man. You have chosen wisely. You have chosen poorly.
Honestly, I hit it because I was so excited for Anthony to win. that he won.
As it happened, I was like, oh no. Here we go.
We have the delay, the YouTube delay, and my face when you played both of them was priceless. I
dressed out.
I realized too when you reread that one question about the defenseman, I took the options, like just say a damn defenseman. But I'm actually glad that I asked because I probably just would have said Parayko.
You narrow it down to 50-50 at that point because you got 3 defensemen that are named and 3 that aren't. So at least you know it's not them.
Right. But still, like those were going to be the 3. Let's be honest.
Pretty much, yeah. In 2022, those were the 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Although Torrey Krug could have said him. Although I think he was injured for that game.
Nah, I wouldn't have said Krug. I don't know what those
Good
3.
job.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Sorry for the confusion.
That's all right. That's all right. It made it.
It added to the drama.
Now that I won, I'm good.
Yeah. Otherwise,
and I lost. That would have been rough.
What is it?
So that happened the first time that I had ever won a Gauntlet. If you remember that, because that was back when it was all of us just had our own category. Mm-hmm. And I was horrible at random trivia. And the first time I had won a Gauntlet, I hit, you have chosen wisely. As in if, I just won. Like, I was still won.
You were so excited.
I haven't done it since. It's been 2 years. So
that's a pretty good run. That's a pretty good run. And you did it this time because you were excited.
I was excited for you.
Thank you. All right. Roster. All right. I'm excited. Roster breakdown. Where are the Blues now when it comes to this retool? Maybe we'll get some more of your mic drops too. So we'll break down the roster. Yeah, I mean in terms of the retool. No, you're right though. You're right.
Carey, that's a good answer.
It's a really good answer.
It's a correct answer.
And you know what? I'm actually going to do this too right now. The Fast Lane. We have your shot to score a pair of tickets to the St. Louis Blues home opener against the Minnesota Wild on October 15th at Enterprise Center. Blues hockey is right around the corner, and single game tickets for the 2024-25 season go on sale this Thursday at 10 a.m. Don't miss exciting new theme nights and can't miss giveaways this season. Get all the details at stlouisblues.com. Text in now, 314-399-9646 with the correct answer to the trivia question I'm about to ask you. And if you're the 101st texter with the correct answer, you will win the free tickets to the Blues home opener. And you can also register to win tickets to the home opener at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 mobile app. Here's your question. I said that I was listening to Mike Ryder played some jams for me in the Cone of Silence. Who is the band? Who is the band that we're listening to? I had mentioned it.
Yeah, you said, okay.
Again, text in 314-399-9646. So we'll get into the Blues roster breakdown next.
All right, I'm excited.
Are you currently looking to sell your home and you're looking for a reliable, trusted, experienced real estate agent, then look no further. Call Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria's been in the business for over 20 years. She knows the market. She understands the trends. She knows what price to ask for your home to sell it quickly and get you the most money at the same time. She's got a database with thousands of ready, willing, and able buyers. That's just better for you. More traffic to your listing, hopefully more eyeballs, maybe more showings. Certainly, there's a possibility of multiple offers. If that's the case, more money for you in your pocket, and Gloria Liu does all the work for you. She does a fantastic job. She takes great care of all of her clients, and she'll also help you list your house for the right price. And if you don't get that price, she will buy that house from you, and she guarantees all of that in handwriting. That's how confident she is that she's going to sell your home. And all you have to do is pick up the phone and call Gloria Liu. Tell her Jamie Rivers from 101 sent you in. Her number's 314-325-6888. Again, that's 314-325-6888. Or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. As always, Gloria and the seller must agree upon the price as well as the possession date.
Obviously I've read on what people are writing, and if there is a GM code not to do offer sheets, nobody email it to me. This is a tool that I think everyone uses and should use. And I think it was reported that I wouldn't have done this to Kenny Holland. Quite honestly, I'd do it to my mother if she was managing the Oilers.
Doug Armstrong.
By the way, I love you, Mom.
With the ultimate line earlier today at his press conference. He held the press conference after the Blues officially made those two Oilers players St. Louis Blues. So the offer sheets were extended. Oilers did not match, and the Blues worked out a deal to send their former fifth-round prospect as well as a third-round draft pick to the Oilers for future considerations. And I imagine, as Jamie noted before, that will be maybe a refill of the Diet Coke machine and a night at a hotel room. That's about it. Yeah.
That's going to be very
possible.
Yeah, it's very possible.
So, Jamie, you did this a week ago, but you did so without the knowledge that Broberg and Holloway were going to be on the Blues. Roster breakdown right now. Where do you kind of see things? Because people love to hear your possible line combinations and your possible defensive pairings. Now that we know that, hey, this is going to be the team heading into training camp.
Yeah, I mean, the roster's a lot deeper right now. I mean, it's unbelievable what two players can do to a roster. I don't know if Booch starts on the top line or if he centers the second line, but I've got him starting the season. I prefer him on the wing. So I've got Booch, Thomas, and Kyrou. I think you have to go back with those three. That's your top three scoring entities on your team, and you got to hope that the chemistry is there and you can put the pressure on. Last year it was an interesting thing because you didn't have a lot of depth scoring for a large portion of the season. Like, you were living and dying by the first line. And this year, I don't think you're going to have to do that. So for me, it gives me inspiration to put those guys back together. The second line for me would be Neighbors, Shen, and Saad. I think that you got 3 20-goal scorers now on that line, 26 or 27 rather for Neighbors, and then 20 goal scorers in Shen and Saad. That's depth scoring. It's another line that can score. It's another line that plays a very straightforward game. They get the pucks in deep. They work the puck down low. They get to the front of the net. They crash and bang. They're very responsible defensively. So I like that combo too. Now here's where we dive into this new depth that we've acquired. I'd have Holloway, Texier, and Toropchenko on the same line. It's a lot of speed there. Those guys can all skate, and Holloway's got really good skill. Texier, I think he's got skill that has yet to be untapped. And Toropchenko, he's a 12 to 15 goal scorer for me. I think he can consistently be in that window of scoring, which again, that line is going to have a lot of speed. They're going to be good on the forecheck, difficult to play against, but they will have a scorer's element to it as well. So again, the depth of scoring will be better. And then the fourth line for now, and this is just my own personal preference, I like Walker, Foxa, and Joseph to start the season as that fourth line. And I got a little asterisk here because I don't know where Sonny's going to be in his recovery. Will he be ready for the regular season? I don't know. I hope he is because I love Sonny, and I think he brings a lot to the table. But if he is, then that can change slightly, where I think you'd have Walker would be the odd man out. I think you'd have Joseph, Foxa, and Sundqvist on that line. Or you could move some pieces around with the bottom six. But then that leaves out, and this potentially leaves out, Kapanen, Bolduc, Dean, and Dvorsky. So I think those are 4 guys. I think we know what we have in Kasperi Kapanen. I think Kasperi Kapanen is going to be a really good soldier for this team. I think he's going to be that veteran guy. He's not costing you very much. He's got great speed. He works extremely hard. He's a great teammate. Guys love him. And he can play the penalty kill. He can help you out. But I think Kasperi Kapanen knows his role is going to be play where the team needs me and do the best I possibly can and help with leadership on this team. And he's not slow at all. He's got tons of speed, so it's not like you're putting a veteran guy and he's slowing down the roster. No. In fact, he increases the speed of your roster.
This roster seems to have added big-time speed.
A lot of speed.
I mean, not only from last year, but from the last couple of years. This is a massive injection of speed.
But you needed it.
Yes, absolutely.
And you've had speed and size at the same time.
But the size on the blue line, speed kind of everywhere.
Well, all of these guys are bigger guys, except for Walker. But Foxa, Joseph, Toropchenko, Texier, Holloway, Neighbors, Shen, these are all they're not giants, but they're big guys. So it makes it difficult to play against. As far as the blue line's concerned, there's 10 guys under one-way contracts. I can only assume that Torrey Krug will not start the season with the team. If you're reading the tea leaves, they're pretty easy to read. Army stocked up on defensemen in the offseason and just made a massive offer sheet for a left-handed shot defenseman following the signing of another left-handed shot defenseman in Suter.
Yeah.
That would tell me that Torrey Krug's probably not on the path to a quick recovery. And if that's the case, I'm not going to bother going through every single player. My top 6 on defense are Leddy, Parayko, Broberg, and Falk, Suter, and Kessel. Where Scott Perunovich ends up, I don't know. For me, he's the 7th defenseman to start the season, and the rest of the guys to work your way down from there. But that, to me, is your top 6. And again, I think that, like Army said, you've got this tremendous ability for competition now in training camp. And I like it. These veteran guys, there's so many one-way contracts. Army's basically saying, I'm going to have to pay somebody to play in the minors because not everybody's going to get picked up on waivers. But as a team, we're okay with that as long as the best team is being put on the ice every night. We're not going to play the contract. We're going to play the guy that makes sense because all of you, by the way, are all on one-way contracts. So it's not like, I got to play the guy here because a two-way guy can go down to the minors. No, there's probably going to be 2 or 3 guys on NHL contracts that are playing in Springfield next year.
What, are you going to send Walker down to the minors? They're already doing that in this town.
Oh, no, that's the Cardinals.
You're talking about Nathan Walker, not Jordan Walker. Gotcha.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, he'd really be.
Sorry, I'm a little fired up.
No, that's okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
6'6", 250 on the blue line. You'd love that.
I would take that in a heartbeat. Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe the Blues can sign him. I mean, actually, you know.
Probably give him a better opportunity.
Yeah,
probably.
Speaking of the Cardinals, their philosophical differences growing between manager and president of baseball operations. We'll get to that next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update. Driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway are officially a part of your St. Louis Blues. Doug Armstrong talked about acquiring the two former Edmonton Oilers earlier today. If you missed that press conference, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. You'll find it on the podcast page. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. The Cardinals have made some roster moves. Matt Carpenter has been activated from the 10-day injured list. Lucan Baker has been recalled from Memphis. Brandon Crawford has been granted his unconditional release. And Jordan Walker has been optioned to Memphis. We are going to talk about that next. Ahead of tonight's Cardinals game against the Brewers. First pitch tonight is at 6:45 with Eric Fetty on the mound going up against Frankie Montas. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy. Together we drive. Are you kidding me?
I can't believe you guys have to explain yourselves of why you're so critical about the Cardinals and why we're, kind of quote unquote easier on the Blues. It's not that we're easier. It's because they're actively trying to make themselves better instead of being complacent with what they have and saying, oh, okay, let's just try and just aim for the playoffs. That's our goal. Shoot, we would have the most rings out of any sports franchise in all of the United States if, we just made the playoffs and you got a trophy for it.
Well said, Tyler. You're right, though. I mean, we do. I feel like sometimes we do get the text messages that come in and says, oh, you're not fair about the Cardinals. What is there to be fair about? This has been an average team for quite a while now. And now it wasn't just that you're average before or you're slightly average before. You're directionless now. It does not feel like there's any sort of blueprint for success. And now maybe we're going to make too much out of this and do the media thing, but to hell with it. We got an hour and a half, so let's do this. John Mozeliak, according to Katie Wu, if you go to @KatieJWu on Twitter, she covers the Cardinals for The Athletic. She says, John Mozeliak said the decision to send down Jordan Walker came down to consistent playing time. And if you missed it today, Jordan Walker was optioned back to Memphis. Matt Carpenter was activated off the injured list. Brandon Crawford was handed his unconditional release. And Lucan Baker was recalled from AAA Memphis. So with Jordan Walker back down, this is what Mo said. My philosophy has always been, if you're a younger player, you need to play. I always cringe at the idea of someone who's 22 years old sitting on the bench. I don't know about you guys, but I take that as a direct, hey, Ollie, if you're not going to play the kid that I just brought up for you, fine. But I'm going to put him back down in Memphis so he can get consistent playing time. And you know what? Mo takes a lot of crap. Some deserve, some not. But I'm backing Mo on this one. If he's in charge of the roster and not the lineup, which is how it's designed for the Cardinals, Mo's in charge of the roster, Ollie's in charge of the lineup. If you're Mo and you've been sitting there watching Jordan Walker sit there, then you have to do something. You have to be the adult, and you have to send him back down to AAA Memphis. If your manager is going to play the stupid-ass platoon game, then you need to make sure that your 22-year-old is getting consistent playing time in the minors.
Yeah, you also need to make sure that the message is clear moving forward, too. It's one thing to correct
fired.
it. Well, no.
Whoa. Oh, no?
It's one thing to correct it, like right now, when Ollie has been playing the platoon game.
How's that working out?
It's not.
Okay.
And that's why Mo has stepped in now and said, I'm removing the toy, and we're putting it back down in Memphis because you somehow have found a way to screw this up. But I actually blame Mo. So everybody wants to blame Ollie for this. I blame Mo because I run a company. If my employees don't know exactly what the plan is, that's my fault. That's my fault.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so when I call up Jordan Walker, I'm absolutely sitting in the office with Ollie, with Turner Ward, with everybody, and saying, here is the plan. Or before I even call him up, here's what my thought is. I want him to come up. We need an outfielder. He's going to play every day. Going to play every day. No, he's only going to platoon. Okay, then good. Then we're not calling him up. We'll call up Lukenbaker. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. But don't you expect, though, your employees to, I don't know, go out on the ice because you're running your Synergy Hockey camp, synergyhockeyskills.com.
Yep.
You're running your camp. You can't have a conversation with your employees about everything. So, for example, if your employee goes on the ice, they should know not to take a dump on the ice. You know what I mean? Like that should be obvious. If Jordan Walker's coming up, he needs to be in the lineup.
Unless it's dump and change, of course.
That's different. That's hockey related.
It's a way different concept.
Yeah. Know what I mean?
One's messy, one's less messy.
Like Jordan Walker coming up.
Yeah, but Anthony,
why wouldn't you think that you would then play the kid and not let him rot on the bench?
But that's the biggest mistake that bosses make all the time. It's just assuming that everybody knows the plan. Some people get called micromanagers. I already knew that. Yeah, great. Guess what? I'll say it one more time so you don't ever freaking forget it, okay?
Right.
This is the way I'm doing things. This is the way we do things here. And Jordan Walker, when he comes up, will be in the lineup every day. If you don't think he's ready for that, if there's some doubt or whatever, fine. He can play in AAA, and then the offseason, we can revisit this and come up with a better plan because we drafted this young man who had a tremendous amount of potential, and we are not maximizing it. So this is the plan. That's it. Or you just strong arm. That's it. Or Ollie, I don't care. You can do everything else you want, but every day this guy's in the lineup. That's it. Bottom line. And then Ollie can push back, Ollie can fight, whatever. But okay, then take the toy away again, and now you get a crappier player.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is Mo Ollie's boss? Is that how
he better be?
Is that how that works? Because if he is, then how can you not play him every day? If John Mozeliak is saying, we listened to the audio earlier, I envision him playing every day if and when he's called back up. He's doing well in Memphis. So is that just you're going to do whatever the hell you want to do, and it ain't working out. It has not. It would be one thing if you're making this decision to platoon players and it's working. I think the Cardinals are 2-8 in their last 10 games. Like it ain't working. You're 11 games out of first place in the division. You have multiple teams that have jumped you in the wild card. Now the Reds decided to play like how they've been playing all year and take a step back, but they're still only a half game back from you. And the Pirates and the Cubs have not been playing well either. But you have not done anything worthy of even sniffing a playoff spot. And this is the decision that you're going with. We're going to platoon. How the hell is it working out? I don't know. I'm not a baseball manager, but if I do something over and over and over again and it ain't working, probably would try something different. Maybe playing the guy that they tell me is going to be a really good player at some point if he gets the opportunity. I do give Mo credit because I do think, and maybe it's not a confrontational conversation. Maybe it's not, you're going to do what I say because this is what it is. Maybe that's not the conversation. Hey, he's here. This is the expectation. But I do know this. If that is your boss and you decide to go against what your boss says, there's a result for how that plays.
Consequences.
You suffer the consequences. So you could lose your job. You're not performing well. Your team isn't performing well. You got a guy that was brought up with the sole expectation that he was going to play every day from the guy that, is your oversees what you do, and you're not doing it, and it ain't working out. That's how people get fired. And I don't think anybody should lose their job. I'm not calling for Ollie to lose his job, but that's an egregious decision. If he was brought here and with the expectation to play every day, and you're going to play him against lefties, and he doesn't hit lefties as well as he hits righties, and you play against the Cincinnati Reds, and he has the best batting average and OPS versus Hunter Green, and he's watching the game, it's ridiculous to me. It is. It is really ridiculous. And I do give, like I said, I give Mo credit for saying, you know what?
I give him credit for saying enough's enough.
I would hope he went to Jordan Walker.
But I don't give him credit for not having a very clear vision from the start.
But I would hope he went to Jordan Walker and said, you know what, I apologize for because this is not how I foresaw this taking place.
Well, he's not going to do that because now
I can't say that he's not.
Now you're cutting the legs out of everybody. And
well, no, you should.
Nah,
you
can't do that.
If you went on and said this is not what I saw or how I saw it.
Yeah, but then you got a player that hates the manager. You can't do that.
You don't think Jordan? You hate Mike Keenan.
I do.
I do not like Bruce Arians. You think Jordan Walker is sending Ali Marmol a Christmas card? Do you think he's going to, if he got a dog and a girlfriend, do you think they're going to send a card to Oliver Marmol on Christmas? Hell no. He ain't. It's not happening. You're invited to the Christmas party, and I'm good.
You went to a Christmas party. I just went to a healthy work environment. Yeah, never mind the Christmas party. I mean, I could care less about a Christmas card. I'm just saying that as a manager, as an owner, as a boss, you try not to set up your employees to have conflict with their superiors as well. You know what I mean? You don't get to say, Sewer, you're one guy. Oh, I know this guy. I don't know what he's doing. And it's a bad look. That creates more dysfunction than anything.
I think it's obvious.
I don't.
Anybody got eyes?
I don't want the Cardinals to be terrible. They are. But I think this is needed. I think all this chaos is needed. It's a wake-up call to this organization that you cannot keep doing what you're doing. This needed to happen. I think it did. And hopefully they can grow from all of this. And I'm not even talking about this specific situation. I'm going back to last year. People have their opinions on the whole Tyler O'Neill situation. It is what it is. If you think you're right, then you're right. If you think the other person's wrong, I guess they're wrong. But at the end of the day, it was a media fiasco. So was the Wilson Contreras situation. There's been so many different things that have popped up that is almost like it's embarrassing. It's an embarrassing look for the organization. This right here, this actually might be the most embarrassing out of all of the things that have happened in the last 2 seasons. This needs to happen for this team to wake up and go a different direction. It needs to happen.
Yeah. It's also, and I agree with you, Marsh, it's also a sign of massive dysfunction, which I think is your point too.
Yeah.
But you gotta clean it up now.
Well,
somebody has to. I agree with what you're saying. You're saying, hey, now it's out in the open again. There's some frustration. There's at least a little bit of stuff that's coming out.
And it's not just the fans that are questioning it either.
Right.
You have national media people now that are like, what is going on with the Cardinals?
Right.
What are you doing?
And so we as the fans,
where
the fan base, exactly. We're asking, where are we? We're on the side of the road, lady.
Yeah. In St. Louis.
Yes. At least the fans now feel like, okay, thank goodness it's not just us that feel like we're going crazy over this whole fiasco that is the St. Louis Cardinals. Yep. Other people are starting to chime in, and they're giving us a little reassurance of what we are seeing is actually correct.
Very true. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. If you have a question for us, you can send it into the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. We've got our Sports Six-Pack next. The Missouri Athletic Club, perfect spot for me, perfect spot for my family. I love taking the family down summertime to the West Clubhouse. Pool's open, camps are rolling. When it comes to the downtown location, great for Cardinals games. You go there, park, take advantage of the Jackbutt Grill. Awesome food at both locations. But just for me, I love working out there at the West Clubhouse. I love, getting to see people that I've come to know over the last couple of years and find out what they're doing, what kind of clubs within the clubs that they're taking advantage of too. That's my MAC, the Missouri Athletic Club.
the question. It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
All right, time for our Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. This is where you can submit any question you have. 314-399-9646, the Air Comfort Service text line. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh with your questions.
Question number 1.
From these 314, do you think Mike Shildt will win National League Manager of the Year?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That is spicy.
Absolutely. He's going to win that
these
thing.
days, right,
No
Marshy?
doubt.
Spicy?
Absolutely.
Spicy.
Russell Wilson said it about his Subway sandwich.
Yeah.
No, I think it's different.
No, Mike Shildt will not win National League. No, he won't win the Rookie of the Year. He won't win National League Manager of the Year because that is going to go to the man that we will see tonight.
Yes.
Pat Murphy.
The Brewers, for sure.
The Murph man.
Now, the season isn't done. I mean, the Padres could go on an epic run here. Huh? Yeah, you're right. That's true. That's been known for a while now. That first week.
Week 1?
Pretty much. The Padres, if they go on a bit of a run here, they're only 3 games back of the Dodgers. I mean, the Padres do play the Cardinals 4 times coming up. They could make up some ground on the Dodgers during that series.
Oh, I thought you meant the Cardinals could make up ground.
No, Carey,
I'm
come
sorry.
on.
I wasn't paying attention.
So,
where are we?
If that's the case, then I could see Mike Shildt. He's definitely going to be on the podium. Where he is, first, second, or third, I'm not sure, but he's on the podium.
Yep. I agree.
Question number 2.
From Grant Francis Fan Club, what are Dalibor Dvorsky's odds of making the team, and how have recent moves affected those odds?
Well, the recent moves really haven't affected too much because Dalibor Dvorsky's ceiling projects to be much higher than most of these guys that we're looking at right now at the forward position, the young players, that is. And so all that happens is now you're actually creating the best possible scenario for Dalibor Dvorsky. Because if he comes in and he's so good that he has to make your team, that's really good for the team. Mm-hmm. That means you've got the right player, and this guy is going to be really good for a long time. Let's say he's just not quite good enough. He's going to be a 4th liner. You're certainly not going to do that. I mean, right, Ollie? You don't want to play your young guy and put him on the bench or in the crowd. So he'll go down and play in Springfield, and he'll play like he did last year in Sudbury. He'll play power play, penalty kill, regular shift. He'll play a ton. And when he's ready to come up or there's an injury, he'll come up and play. So to me, it actually creates a regular timeline for Dalibor Dvorsky now, whereas when you didn't have all these other pieces, I feel like he would have made the team, but maybe it would not have been the best thing for him. So I don't mind this. The competition is good in many ways for this team.
Question number 3.
From the 636, do you think Xavier Worthy will be the best rookie wide receiver in the NFL this year? If not, who will it be?
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's NFL ready because his father, well, he's got the talent too. It's not just his father, but his father was one of the best route runners in ever, Bob. And Marvin Harrison Jr., I think the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree there.
Xavier Worthy has too many other people fighting for footballs there. You got Travis Kelce.
Glad you
run the ball with Isaiah Pacheco. You got Rashee Rice. You got a lot of guys that they're going to. Patrick Mahomes is not a guy that just targets one guy.
No,
but I do think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to have a heck of a year.
Yeah. I think that if Malik Neighbors had a quarterback that could throw to him, I think Malik Neighbors
Jones
would be good too.
Quarterback?
Because Malik Neighbors, he looks like a stud already.
What about Rome Odunze? You don't think much?
I think Rome Odunze could be very good too. I think there's a lot of weapons in Chicago now.
I saw Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze connect on a long ball the other day. Looked pretty good, and I hated it.
Well, Marsh,
give him a look. Give him something. You got it for him?
Yeah, I got something for you. They went 3 and out the first 3 drives.
I'm back in the saddle.
You just saw the highlight.
Well, listen,
I think 3 and out the first 2 drives.
Your team signed a cornerback today.
Yeah.
Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Something to be looking forward to, right?
Sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. What is it, 2019 or something?
No, it's 2024.
Gilmore's going to be great.
He's going to be great.
And he's got the defensive coordinator that's going to maximize that potential and lift him up.
Yes, he will.
Is he?
He actually will.
Really?
He had a press conference today, and
did he?
He said he's going to grow from what happened in.
Did he? Did he say that seriously?
In Miami.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. Good for him.
It's out there.
Can't go around talking to people crazy, especially not grown NFL football players.
It typically doesn't work out well for any grown man slash, anything, really.
Might get hit. Not good.
Question number 4.
From the 636, if they sent Jordan Walker down so he can get more playing time, why don't they send down Nolan Gorman for the same principle?
I mean, they could. They could. I guess they could.
Could they?
They could.
Could they?
I just don't know. Like, I don't know how it benefits.
He's smoking up here.
No, but even he goes down there, he hits AAA baseball. Big deal. Go back to the majors, he's going to have the same problems.
Yeah.
So.
But at least you know he has those problems.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know if Jordan has problems or not. Didn't see much.
Jordan has a few problems. Well, like hitting the ball is one of them. Let's just be honest.
One of them. Yep.
Let's just be honest.
Versus left-handed pitching.
Just all of it. At the major league level, he has trouble hitting the ball right now.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe.
You know what helps? Not playing him.
It certainly helps.
That actually doesn't.
It doesn't let him.
It doesn't.
No. I've seen the Cardinals won 11 World Series championships.
Mm-hmm. Oh, how many?
So if they say don't play those guys,
I think that was it.
And that'll get better.
I think
I'm listening.
I don't think you get better by watching.
Do you have 11 World Series championships?
I do not.
Okay.
I don't.
Carey, let's let the professionals do what they do.
Do you remember that time when they didn't play Randy Arozarena? Look what he's done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now he's in Seattle. So
for a different team. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I see where you're going. So
any other questions there, Carey?
All right, nope.
Yeah.
I get it.
Good.
No more questions?
No more questions.
All right. We do have a question.
Question number 5.
From the 314. Thank God Mo made that move.
What?
Whoa.
But they are setting up for Ollie to be fired this year, which he should be. Do you think that all of this nonsense that is happening is setting up for Ollie Marmol to lose his job?
Well, if he loses, I made this point the other day. If he loses his job, which fine. You want to move on from him, go for it. But you're going to let Mo make another managerial decision? Really? How many presidents / GMs do you know of in professional sports have an opportunity to hire and fire 3 different people? Which
Doug
would be
Armstrong.
actually 4 different people.
Doug Armstrong. He had Hitch, Yo, Berube, and whoever was before that.
How many people in the 3 major sports do you know as a GM or a president that has an opportunity to hire and fire 4 different people?
Not many, Anthony.
Thank you.
Not many.
Very well done.
Objection. Speculation.
No. No. It's not.
Okay.
Question number 6.
We got the whole 6-pack in one segment.
We did terrible.
We went way too fast.
Mm-hmm.
I blame Marshy.
Me too.
What?
Yeah, he's been moving he's been trying to get rid of the second 6-pack all day.
I love the second 6-pack.
Who doesn't?
It's actually the first 6-pack. It's just the second half of it. Yeah.
Get excited there.
All right, guys. The 6th question comes from the text line, and we're talking about the second 6-pack, and you can probably have that second 6-pack for way cheaper than if you were at the stadium downtown. Do you think that
Do you know where you can get it really cheap, by the way?
Oh, do tell us.
Yeah, great selection. All of your favorite beers available at Dirt Cheap.
Do you think the Cardinals will hit 3 million fans this season?
No.
No.
I don't.
Yeah. I was thinking when you were talking about beer and cheap beer, Mobile on the Run, they do the 6 runs, $60 cent drink.
Yeah, there's a guy that was on his knees.
They said $60
when he found out the information.
60 cent.
Go ahead, Marshy.
What?
What was that guy doing?
We had a listener who sent us a mic drop saying he found out that Jordan Walker was sent down. It was at a Mobile on the Run and fell to his knees.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't see that text. No, I was just wondering
it was
how
a mic
many.
drop.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Did I not listen to it?
Probably not. No.
Okay, do you remember that?
I remember the guy falling to his knees.
You
Yes.
don't remember.
Who wouldn't?
You have no clue what they're talking about either. I just was wondering how many.
We're really good with
drinks.
audio today. We either don't listen or I set it up wrong.
I don't know what I heard. I didn't hear that. Not a lot of 60-cent drinks though this year.
Yeah.
6 runs.
Yeah, you got to score.
I think it's 50 Cent.
Is it? No, that's a rapper.
Yeah.
I know that.
That guy. I know that guy.
Yeah. All right, that'll do it for our Sports Six Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We got What's Trending next.
It's time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, what's trending is Jordan Walker is heading to Memphis. He is being sent down And I have a question. Why wouldn't Mo just tell Ollie to play him more instead of sending him down?
Because he does not control the lineup. And anybody that says, Ollie's just a puppet for Mo, clearly he's not. Because Mo wanted him to play Jordan Walker. And now that Ollie did not play him, Walker's back down in Memphis. So he's not a puppet for Mo. He's got the lineup. Mo's got the roster. And that's the way Mo has always operated it. Since Mike Matheny, that's how he's operated. And really, Tony. But
yeah,
like you were going to tell Tony what to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with Anthony. I think that there's a vision in place and whatnot, but when you give, it's pretty tough then to fire a manager if you've been the one telling him what to do the whole time, right?
Yeah.
So
because that's your fault if it's not going well.
Correct.
Yep.
So if I'm John Mozeliak, although I build the roster, I basically give you all the pieces. Now you can figure out how to use these pieces. I won't interfere because if it fails, then I am able to fire you because you did the job the wrong way. But if it's me, and if the DeWitts know that it's Mo that is sending down all of the rosters, the lineups, and all that, at some point they're going to go, wait a minute.
Wait a sec.
That guy really had no thoughts of his own. It was you who did this.
Right.
So this is why I think Mo has that divide to where the managers manage and he provides them with a roster. And then when the manager doesn't do what he wants, he switches the roster.
Carey, I believe Chris Carter once said, get yourself a fall guy.
Get your fall guy.
And I believe that's Ollie. And I think Mo has also done a nice job, too, of protecting himself with Gersh.
Well, I think
this is your fault.
I picture Mo like walking into enemy fire, holding Gersh in front of him.
That's what Deadpool did in the latest movie.
Yes.
With Nice Pool.
I think that as a manager and a GM, Pobo, coach, whatever it is, that relationship, when we're figuring out how we want to play the game, how we want to compete, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, hockey, those two have to be on the same page in terms of roster construction. This is what we need. How can we get these types of players? Okay, if this is what you need, I can get those types of players for you.
Yep.
Now it's on you to utilize those players to the best of your ability. We heard all leading up into the trade deadline. The Cardinals need a right-handed bat that can play outfield. Oh, they went and got Tommy Pham. Cool. They need another pitcher. They went and got Eric Fetty. Oh, we still need a right-handed bat. You know what? We got one down in the minors. Here you go. And you do with it what you please. But if you're not doing it the right way or the way that makes the most sense in my eyes, then we won't let you use that player. We'll send them down. And so I think whatever the communication, lack thereof, or misunderstanding as to what the goal was for Jordan Walker when he was called up, there had to be some type of miscommunication or misunderstanding. Because John Mozeliak has just said, hey, I don't envision a 22-year-old not playing every day.
Right.
That's not the best way, I think, of going about, giving him the experience and showing him and allowing him to grow in the game and his game. And so let me take that away from you and you figure it out.
By the way, Carey, since you brought up Tommy Pham, who's not in the lineup again tonight, at what point does Tommy Pham say enough is enough? Just wave me.
At some point. Probably not just wave me, but there's no way I would be like unless the expectation, but things change. Like the expectation was you're going to be a bat off the bench, but then you hit a grand slam in your first at bat, and then you're the only one that is hitting the ball and having success, and then you're like, oh, you're not going to play today because it's a righty.
Right.
Well, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
What the, huh? Do you want to win or do you want
mound, right? Let me hit.
I don't care if he's throwing with both hands.
Right.
Like I'll figure it out.
Yep.
But to me, that's not for this team has not been winning baseball. If the platooning lefty versus righty was working, no one would complain. We wouldn't have a word to say. You're a genius for that, man. Yeah, that's an innovative idea you got there. When it's not working, people looking at you like, that's pretty damn dumb, sir.
What the hell is wrong with you?
What are you doing?
Right.
That comes with it. So I don't know why Tommy Pham isn't playing. I don't know why Jordan Walker was brought here, was not playing, and was sitting down. To your question earlier, Marshy, I don't know why Nolan Gorman is still playing. Like it's a lot of questions, but it is what it is.
By the way, we did get a text from the 618. Has anyone heard from John Mozeliak? That's actually funny that you brought that up because you can go back and listen to the podcast, all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. And you can hear John Mozeliak give his reason as to why the Blues actually put offer sheets out for Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg.
And according to John Mozeliak, it was because of the Cardinals.
Yes.
So they want the credit and they want none of the blame. And like you said, Marsh, is very riveting stuff from John Mozeliak today.
Speaking of that, do you think it's a little BS that, and obviously these moves aren't happening, like they don't call each other like, hey, by the way, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But I do feel like this Cardinals news is almost overshadowing what the Blues did today. Like the Blues made a really good move, obviously dating back to last week, but it was finalized today, that ultimately point them in the right direction. Do you find that to be a little bit of a BS, or do you find it like ironic that one organization is sort of in disarray while the other one on the same day is on the up and up?
Yeah, I think this is more misfortune for the Cardinals, quite honestly, rather than the Cardinals trying to steal headlines in this one. I think it's just, well, they were forced to do it. They had to make some roster movements anyways. And the Blues end up with, stealing the headlines. I don't think the Cardinals with Jordan Walker, I don't think that's stealing the headlines today. I think that's just adding on to the hill of problems that the Cardinals have had this season. Because people today, they're cheering on the Blues and Doug Armstrong for what he's doing, and then they're like Carey for most of the day is just like, I'm done with the Cardinals. Like, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it.
Yep.
I want to talk about the Blues and an organization that seems like they're heading in the right direction. And Cardinals, I don't know. Call me when it's over.
Yeah. Well,
Cardinals got a game today?
Yes, they do. They're taking on the first place Milwaukee Brewers.
Oh, it's time to
organization with less talent, less money, and kicking your ass every year.
Cool. By the way, we didn't bring this up, but
is that too honest for everybody?
Probably.
No. Okay.
How about Paul DeYoung?
Touching seats?
What has he ever done?
Jamie brought up having a backup shortstop, and obviously Brandon Crawford was that guy.
Yep.
And if you don't know the news, Brandon Crawford has been released, the unconditional release.
He's been granted.
He's been granted unconditional release.
Yeah.
Brandon Crawford's not on the team anymore.
That's the bottom line.
I wonder if they had any ideas of bringing back
They
Paul
should
DeYoung.
have.
Or is hindsight 2020?
I think in this case, it's probably hindsight.
Yeah, but honestly, if you had your choice, let's just go back.
Paul DeYoung. If it's Brandon Crawford,
he was still touching seats last year with the White Sox, and we've been all over the place here.
Yeah, Royals at one point.
Paul DeYoung, you know what you're
he's
getting.
on the Royals now. Excuse me.
You know what you're getting. He's a good guy. He's been a Cardinal. Probably would want to come back here. So he checked all the boxes.
Yeah, that's true.
And then
I think he has more home runs than the whole team.
But then
he's tied with
Marshy.
Burley.
It gets better. The Cardinals halfway through the year, what did they need? A right-handed bat off the bench, right?
Jeremy,
with
Pop.
Yeah.
Don't you go making sense now.
Right.
We've been all day without having logic interjected into this show.
You sit down, Jamie.
You don't give us any information that makes sense, okay? We don't want it.
Exactly.
Cardinals LLC.
Until tomorrow.
Tell him.
No, we don't want logic, damn it.
We don't want your good ideas.
Sorry.
Not up in here.
We got a text from the 618. Anthony, you're not being harsh enough on the Cards. Please let it out.
I think they're a joke right now. I think they're an absolute joke right now. I think that they have become so content that they're just operating in the same manner that they always have been. They're a farm system now for the Tampa Bay Rays, which is a joke. The GM, or not the GM, the president and the manager clearly not on the same page. There's a disconnect there. There's no cohesion from top to bottom. I blame everybody. I blame the ownership. I blame the front office. I blame the manager and the coaching staff. And I blame the players. Actually, I take it back. I don't blame the players because you know what? They're giving it their all. And unfortunately, their all is pretty damn average.
They're working hard.
So I don't blame them.
Oh, Carey.
They are working hard.
They are.
They get down there early. getting ready for games? You don't think they're working hard?
I don't know.
I do. I think they're working hard. I think they're giving it all they have,
I
Jamie.
don't know what they're doing.
No, you're not listening. They're giving it all they have. Open face crab sandwich.
Yes.
It's a Fastlane on 101 ESPN. What are proper expectations for Drew Bannister with this roster this upcoming season? We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey, and people are talking about Window Nation. Their customer, Vicky, says, we couldn't be happier. This was a great experience. She's just one of over 33,000 five-star reviews, and that's because Window Nation is all about value. This August, they're giving you a great value during the Window Nation anniversary sale. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. There's no limit to how much you can save. Plus, you can save big with no interest or payments for 24 months. Act now, and you'll get an extra $250 credit as well. Window Nation values your satisfaction in their quality, service, and affordability. That's why they stand behind their windows with a lifetime warranty. Window Nation was also recently ranked highest on Forbes' list of best window installation companies. So you can trust Window Nation for high-quality, affordable windows. Stop paying more than you have to. Hurry. The sale ends August 31st. Schedule a fast in-home estimate right now at 866-90-NATION or visit them online at windownation.com. They can install that window in 1 day or less. And again, it does have a lifetime warranty. So reach out to them today, 866-90-NATION, or go online at windownation.com.
Hey guys, I just figured it all out. I have solved the whole conundrum. Mozeliak and Ali don't know what they're doing. It's that simple. It's that simple. They're working under strict guidelines from the DeWitts as far as financial restraints go, and they simply don't know what they're doing. Mozeliak is living off of old Jocketty's past successes and the few successes he has. He hasn't adapted, he hasn't evolved, and Ali simply doesn't know what he's doing. Case closed, problem solved. There you go, show's over.
Oh, no, we still got it. No,
he said show's over.
No,
we can go home.
That was Joel.
I'm done.
That was Joel who said that. In fact, the show is not over. We still have a good 40 minutes. So, but Joel brings up some good points, especially the ones made about how the Cardinals don't know what they're doing. Your guys' thoughts?
I think we've been saying that for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, no, we definitely have. Yeah,
could be wrong, but yeah.
So, since we unearthed there, thanks to Joel, we appreciate the mic drop. Since we unearthed that Ollie doesn't know what he's doing, Drew Bannister, he gets himself a new looking roster here. Some bigger pieces at the blue line, Jamie. Some overall speed up and down this roster. What are proper expectations for Drew Bannister heading into next season?
Well, I don't know proper expectations for Drew Bannister. If I'm Drew Bannister, I think the proper expectations from a coaching staff's standpoint is,
Stanley Cup.
No.
Oh.
It'd be nice. I mean, I'm certainly not going to say no to it.
Sorry, Blues, I tried.
But I think proper expectations right from the get-go is we're a playoff team. We're a playoff team, and we're going to make someone's life miserable once we get in the playoffs. That has to be what you're going into the season looking at. You can't be like, well, hopefully we creep in, and, if we're lucky. No, you almost made it last year, and that team was not as good as the team I'm looking at right now. And so the expectations with returning players, with younger players that are going to come back with more experience. You just acquired 2 really good young players. You got great goaltending. Like, expectations now are not like, I hope. No, we're going to make the playoffs.
We're doing this thing.
And whoever we play is not going to like it. Because we're going to be deep. We're going to have good goaltending. We're going to play physical. We're going to play good hockey. Like, that's the expectation. I don't think there's anything else, like any other way to approach this season. Doug Armstrong has done a very good job of providing the best roster he can at the moment. The Blues didn't have a whole bunch of money to go out and go throwing it at unrestricted free agents. Plus, the timing would have been wrong anyway. So you go get one guy, it's not going to change the outcome totally of the team. So Army's doing it the best way he can, and now you're handing off a team to a coach that's returning. You're handing off the team to a former Stanley Cup head coach in Claude Julien, and Steve Ott now is an associate head coach, and Mike Weber. You've given him more pieces to work with on the blue line, and he did a great job with what he had last year, and the Blues did get better defensively last year, not where they want to be ultimately, but now if you continue with good defensive philosophy, and now you've actually added some better pieces to that, then hopefully that cuts down even more on the offensive opportunities for the other teams. And you already know that if the offense gets to your goalie, you've got really good goaltending, both guys.
Yeah.
So I think the expectations from a standpoint for Drew Bannister / for the team is to be a playoff team with bad intentions.
Can it all come together? I think that's the next question, right? Like, we can talk about how it looks on paper, but there has been a lot of moving pieces, and sometimes it doesn't work that well when you bring in a whole slew of guys. We just got done bitching for 3.5 hours about how the Cardinals lack direction. The Blues don't lack that. They do have, like, Army is building a clear. He's got a clear vision for his roster. That's one thing. Does it all come together though? When you look at these pieces, Jamie, do you see a team that fits well with what Army's trying to do?
Well, it's always tough to say when you haven't seen this particular group take the ice together yet.
Sure.
But you got Radek Fox as a veteran guy. He's going to be just fine. Whatever role you put him in, he's going to be just fine. Nathan Walker is same kind of thing. He knows what his job is. Booch, Thomas, and Kyrou, they know what their job is. They've got to be the offense, man. They've got to be the motor that's pushing this boat down the stream, because if they're not clicking, you have some secondary scoring, but your high-end guys have to be your best players.
Yeah.
Jake Neighbors, you think he's happy with just 27 goals last year?
No.
No, he wants more. That kid's a competitor. So when you go through the lineup, the only thing that I see is there's some younger guys that are now have more prominent roles, but that's not always a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the young guys with the that have prominent roles create this energy, this buzz. They pull the team through bad times. Sure. And so I look at guys like Holloway and Texier, and I think to myself, maybe these guys now, man, it's their time to shine. Now, Holloway had a good season last year when all the way was 2 goals short of winning a Stanley Cup, but he wasn't a main character on that team. We know who the guys were that were driving the bus in Edmonton. They're some of the biggest names in hockey.
Right.
And Holloway was not a guy you're like, whoa, McDavid, Draisaitl, Holloway. No, it wasn't that.
Right.
Now you'll have a bigger role on this team. And you've got some guys, some young guys that are looking to make noise, too. You heard Army talk about Zach Bolduc. He wants to be a top 6 forward. He's not coming to camp just to make the team. He's coming to camp to be a main guy. I like that. So that'll push other guys to score more. If Brandon Saad can't outscore Zach Bolduc, Zach Bolduc takes his spot. Mm-hmm. It's just the bottom line. And you've still got other pieces, too. It's Zach Dean. We're not sure where he fits in this lineup, but he's got good speed. We saw that last year. He's a pretty tenacious forechecker like that. And Dalibor Dvorsky, again, is the biggest wild card. Is does what he did last year, junior hockey, does that automatically translate to the NHL? Probably not right away, but if it does in any capacity, now you've got another top 6 type player. So things can change quickly for this team.
Sure.
I think the Blues are doing – I loved what you said about them being a potential playoff team that can cause damage, that can scare the hell out of some teams that may be picked to win a Stanley Cup or make it to the final. I think that's what you look for. You got a roster that is younger, and then you got some guys that are older and some veteran guys. But as those older veteran guys start to move their way out, the Brandon Saas, the Braden Shins, and then your core veteran guys become the Robert Thomases, and those are Jordan Kyrou, Pavel Buchnevich, guys that are just around 25 to 28 to 30 years old. And then you got that group of young guys. That's when you're in your championship window. Like This could be if you go to the playoffs and have a good run and maybe, win a first-round playoff series, you're starting to put yourself in a position where people will look at you going into 25, 20, like, the Blues are, and they're a year older, and they have some experience, and they're a little bit more hungry because they got to taste what it felt like to be in the playoffs, and maybe they won that first round. Maybe they just lost, but that's a team that is on the rise, and you have an understanding of what it is. Like, this is all day. I think that's what's been the theme of the day. One organization and have an idea, a visual of what is expected over the next 3 to 5 years versus, where are we? What are we doing in the Cardinals? And so I think that's kind of what all day's theme has been. The Blues have done a really good job with these offseason additions, adding competition. You got a GM, a president of hockey operations who's telling you, guys better come ready to practice and ready to play come training camp, because if not, there are going to be some younger guys taking your spots. I love it.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We have Beat the Streak and Biggest Question of the Day coming up next. Right now, Auto Centers Nissan, they got their summer heat wave sale, and that means you can take advantage of select new Nissans with rates as low as 0% APR and for terms as long as 84 months. Save big on select new Nissans with thousands in Nissan bonus cash and dealer discounts. Their lowest prices of 2024 live, and it's all throughout the month of August. But look, it's already August 20th. You want to make sure that you take advantage of the deals that they have going on right now at Auto Centers Nissan. In fact, qualified buyers can take advantage of no money down, plus take a break from their car payments for 3 months as well. There's over 700 vehicles all in one location in Herculaneum. That means you're bound to find the perfect car car that fits your lifestyle and your budget. And first-time buyers or those with any sort of credit issues have options too, because at Auto Centers Nissan, they have the perfect deal regardless of your situation. As always, offers include 30-day new car return promise, complimentary lifetime warranty on new Nissans and eligible used vehicles, and the complimentary 1-year maintenance on new Nissan purchases as well. If you head out to Herculaneum, tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan and AutoCentersNissan.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues now have 2 new players, Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway. Those offer sheets that Doug Armstrong put in last week have become official, and Doug Armstrong talked about that earlier today. If you missed that press conference, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. You can find all of our full shows and interviews and press conferences right there on our podcast page. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Also, the Cardinals had some roster moves today ahead of their game with the Milwaukee Brewers. Matt Carpenter has been activated from the 10-day injured list. Luken Baker has been recalled from Memphis. Brandon Crawford has been granted his unconditional release, and Jordan Walker has been optioned to Memphis. The Cardinals will take on the Brewers tonight, 6:45 first pitch. Frankie Montas on the mound for the Brewers, Eric Fetty on the mound for the Cardinals. We have Beat the Streak and Biggest Question of the Day coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center Update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
I want to hit baseballs. All of my successes depend on me.
You ready to hit?
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
All right, time for Beat the Streak, and we've got our guy Jackson back for another day. What's up, Jackson?
Hey, how are you guys doing?
We're doing great, man. Well done. Last, Friday, I think it was, correct?
Yeah, I was. Got lucky there.
No, you didn't get lucky. Come on, you make your own luck. Winners make their own luck, and you're a winner, Jackson. So
love it.
Marsh, what do we got for the latest standings?
All right, so Anthony, you have a streak of 3. Carey and Jackson both have streaks of 2. And shocker, Tommy Pham did not get a hit on Friday.
Oh, did he play?
Jamie.
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Another shocker.
Dodgers. No, it was Kershaw. No.
No, Kurt. No, it was.
that was Saturday.
Bullpen day.
No, it was
TBD guy.
It was
Roblowski.
Yeah.
Friday.
Roblox.
Something.
Exactly.
Kowalski.
Woba not going to pitch much anymore for the Dodgers. Will be a Cardinal next year.
So obviously, I was joking about Tommy Pham, that being a shocker. The real shocker was Shohei Ohtani went 0 for 5 on Friday. Yeah. So I am back to 0.
Yeah, well, you're going to win tonight. I believe it.
I deserved it.
Jamie. All right, give me William Contreras, Wilson's brother. William Contreras.
It really is his brother.
Yes, it is. Yeah, we like to do his brother. No, it's actually his brother.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson, you go ahead, buddy.
As I probably should pick a Brewer, I'm feeling Burleson today.
All right.
Alec Burleson.
Give me
off the board.
Reese Hoskins. He's really good against this guy.
All right.
Against this guy, Eric Fetty.
Is it me, Marshall? No? Yeah? Okay.
Against this bag of arms.
Hey, guys, can you be quiet, please? I'm trying to concentrate.
No, not at all.
Thank you. Let's go with Brendan Donovan for me.
Donnie
boy.
Give me Ortiz.
David?
No.
I would absolutely.
No, David.
It'd be nice. I'll be honest.
Even now.
Right now.
Even now.
That would be.
God knows the Cardinals will pitch to him.
His name is actually Joey. Joey Ortiz.
Joey Bats.
His son.
Right. There you go.
What?
What did he say?
I don't know.
Definitely not.
Is it his son?
No, it's not. No.
What makes you say that, Anthony?
A lot. Actually, just one thing.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
Those things happen.
So let's beat the streak. You're on 101 ESPN. Jackson, thanks, buddy. We appreciate it. Hopefully we'll be back tomorrow.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
All right, man. Jackson's such a nice, polite kid. And clearly he has his head screwed on perfectly because when we're joking around like a bunch of, anybody that's younger than Jackson, he stays stoic, man. He's good. He's like, I'm not getting into the weeds with these idiots. And I don't blame Jackson. He's a smart kid.
Yeah,
well raised. Yep. All right. Let's do biggest question of the day.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
All right, gentlemen, I know you guys love the lineups that Ollie Marmol puts out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually so predictable based on who is pitching, a.k.a. what hand they throw from.
Yeah.
It's almost that predictable, even though it does change from game to game. We get a text from the 314. Can we talk about the futility in consistently writing a lineup based on righty and lefty matchups? If you have to alter your lineup based on the pitching matchup, your players clearly aren't good enough.
I mean, you have some teams that roll the same people out there every day. Those teams are going to the playoffs, fellas.
Yep. Sorry, Carey. Go ahead.
No, I was done.
Okay. No, I said my piece on that.
That was correct. Yeah.
Look, Ollie knows.
Sometimes.
Ollie knows more than I do with this. The Cardinals know what the Cardinals know more.
I was waiting.
Let me be respectful. Ollie knows more than I do about this. The Cardinals know more than I do about this. Okay? So take it with a grain of salt. Take it for what it's worth. I don't think you can have a team that platoons when you don't have platoon players. I mentioned this the other day about the Giants when they won 107, 108 games the one year. They had a whole roster full of platoon players. So what happened? Everybody bought in. Oh, I'm going to play the first 5 innings, and then when they switch hands, I'm going to go. Okay.
Yeah, but they were used to it.
Exactly. Yeah. They were platoon, Jamie, exactly. They were platoon players, right?
They knew the assignment.
Exactly.
That's all they've ever been is platoon players.
Right. They bought into their role, and by God, for one season, it worked out. The Cardinals don't have platoon players.
No.
You know, we talk all the time. Dylan Carlson, why is he having success? He has an opportunity. Why did Lane Thomas go to Washington and have some success? He had an opportunity. Randy Arozarena, why did the Cardinals miss on him? He had an opportunity in Tampa. You're constantly shuffling guys in and out. Or, oh, this guy's hot for right now. I'll just leave him in the lineup. If it works then why don't you just stick with that? You can have some platoon players. But I don't think having virtually, half of your lineup be platoon and then the two guys that you're constantly rolling out there having underperforming years and say it's going to work. It's not. Yeah, we're going to platoon half the lineup and Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado are going to be great. And then they weren't.
You never platooned them all year.
No. You dropped them in the lineup. That was it.
You didn't platoon them.
No.
And you probably should have at certain points.
They're having below career average years.
Way too much.
It's unfortunate. It's like the perfect disaster of crap. But at some point, maybe Ollie says, I'm gonna figure out what my best 9 is, or if you want to platoon a couple of those guys, okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna roll. And I'm going to give them breathing room. And when the freaking media asks me, hey, this guy is struggling right now, I know. I believe in the guy.
Yeah.
It's a big league. He's got to stretch out a little bit here. I got to allow him the opportunity to work out of slumps.
So here's what I think. I think you're on the right track, Anthony. I think that there are certain guys on any given night that you can platoon, especially guys where the splits are really bad.
Yeah.
Like, it is a real thing. Some guys, the splits are, OPS of 350 against lefties.
Sure.
But OPS of 685, 700 against righties. So you're like, okay.
Right.
Probably not, and it's not a sample size anymore, right? You probably should not play that guy.
Yeah, if the guy's 0 for 87 with 86 Ks against lefties, I'm not suggesting you play him.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. But, there's not many of those guys on the Cardinals. Some of them just don't have a good OPS, period. They don't hit lefties or righties, which is problematic, too. But, Alec Burleson went, 3 for 5 the one night. The next night, he's out. Because Ollie says, yeah, it's because Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
He's feeling the flow, man. Yep. He's in the groove. He's got his swing back. And you just take him out. Why? If it looks bad after 2 at-bats, you swap him out. It's not like it's not like you don't have another outfielder to put out there. What are you doing, man?
Yep.
Let your guys that are hitting, let them hit. And guys that are clearly struggling or that clearly struggle against a certain handed pitcher, I'm not talking like a 100-point difference in OPS. I'm talking like a massive difference. That's when you can work on maybe platooning those certain players. Otherwise, you're at the point in the season now where your platooning has not worked. No. You platooned the whole series against the Dodgers. You won 1 game. You platooned against the Reds. How'd that go? You lost all 3.
Not great.
So what are we doing?
Yeah. I don't know. Carey, you get the last word on this.
Carey's done, I think.
Yeah, we don't need to.
Gary, you get the last word on this. What do you got?
We need to beat this dead horse.
Broken blood vessels.
Yeah.
There's a vein right here in the middle of my forehead that when I get angry, it just runs down. So, yeah, I've been upset time or two today. I don't know. I don't have an answer. I think that maybe your lineup just is not good enough if you have to platoon players versus right-handed or left-handed pitching. Because certain players, no matter who's pitching, they're going to play every day. Those are good players. Generally.
Yep.
So if you got to go back and forth, you probably are not a team that is going to make the playoffs and have success. I don't think it's sustainable.
Your mouth, Carey.
I just don't. But, it's always next year.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is there?
There'll be a season next year. They'll be playing.
Yeah. All right.
They'll be there.
All right. That'll do it for us
down
there.
At Busch Stadium.
Time for Bet the Board. Three stars of the day. That's all next on 101 ESPN.
Are you currently thinking about replacing your windows? Then please call my friends over at Window World. They are simply the best for less. They are the preferred window of your St. Louis Blues. Window World windows are one of the 2 windows with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. They are also ranked number 1 in number of windows sold in the country by Qualified Remodeler magazine. They offer a lifetime warranty that covers all the parts, the glass breakage, and the labor. And Window World uses a double-strength glass that gives it a strength not commonly used in replacement windows. What that means is your window is more durable and it is more efficient. And that's really where Window World knocks it out of the park, is you're not going to be wasting money because these windows are super efficient. And let's not forget right now that Window World is still offering up to 36 months same as cash financing with approved credit. And all you have to do, it's easy. Call them. And when you do, though, say Jamie Rivers from 101 sent me in, and you're automatically qualified for a drawing of Blues tickets for a game this season. That number is 314-993-1800. That's 314-993-1800, or visit them at windowworldstlouis.com.
If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast, available at 101ESPN.com. Brought to you by Dobstar Auto Centers. All right, time to bet the board. Jamie Rivers just got out of here for for his daughter's soccer game, and he left us with the Texas Rangers money line. Is Carey Davis still in the lead?
You guys are tied now at 9. Mookie Betts did not get 1.5 hits, runs, or ribbies last night against the Seattle Mariners.
What has he ever done, huh?
A lot.
He's done a lot, actually.
The door.
He had a bad day.
The door is open.
I'm going to close it.
What?
I'm going to close it.
All right, go ahead.
Give me Aaron Judge. 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Minus 145. I can't believe I lost.
You think he's good, huh?
I think he might be the MVP. Some would say.
All right, I'm going to go with Cole Ragans.
Commit.
Over 6.5 strikeouts tonight against the Angels. Cole Ragans over 6.5 Ks tonight for the Kansas City Royals.
All right, is it my turn?
It is Matt's turn.
I don't know who Matt is. I'll be Matt.
Is
Guys,
it Matt?
I'm changing my name so I can have a little better success and bet the board.
Guys, it only makes
Matt
sense.
Marsh.
Matt Marsh.
Matt Marsh.
It would only make sense that the Cardinals don't play well tonight after all this commotion. Or maybe it wouldn't make sense. I don't know.
I think it wouldn't make sense if they won tonight.
It wouldn't make sense.
It would not.
That's why I'm taking the Milwaukee Brewers money line, which, by the way,
yes,
plus odds.
Yeah, they're an underdog tonight.
They're an underdog tonight.
Favored to win, huh?
So give me the Milwaukee Brewers money line.
I can't believe.
And
whoa, you parlaying
Frankie
this?
Montas over 4.5 strikeouts. And
he's parlaying.
Milwaukee Brewers over 3.5 runs. And Rhys Hoskins to get a base hit. And if it hits, I'll be tied with one of you gentlemen at 10.
Can you text that to us so we can keep track?
I
Only one we have.
will.
So
odds are at plus 422.
So you have 6 points right now.
I have 6.
We have 10.
You have 9.
Oh, we have.
He said
9.
if we win, so we both
If you
lose and he
win,
hits,
I'm back.
He's actually in the lead.
No.
Yeah. I was wondering when this was going to be played.
Wow.
When the parlay would come.
Now you only get one a month.
You only get one, so I got to hit this.
You
He gotta
are
hit all 4
taking
of
your shot.
I need to get back in the groove.
Wow. How Matt got his groove back. All right. I like it. You just you provided some entertainment tonight. I like it. All right, what do we got for criticisms and compliments?
All right, from the 816, I want to compliment the show for not cussing on air today in delight or anger for our St. Louis team.
I got to give a lot of props to our guy Carey because I feel like Carey, out of all of us, was really threading that line.
Probably close.
Yeah.
Very close.
So nice job, Carey.
Thank you.
You didn't curse.
Jamie didn't get too excited.
Nope.
He got he got excited, but not too excited.
Not too excited.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So nice job.
Yeah.
From the 314, my God, you ladies have turned into the parrot chamber for the best fans in baseball.
Thank you.
Is that a compliment or?
Oh yeah.
I don't think so.
That's a compliment. I'm taking it as a compliment.
However you want to receive it.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one comes from Lisa. Marsh and guys, thanks for this show. I finally feel like someone feels my pain. You were late to the dance, but you got here nonetheless. My team is just bad. Great show. Because I agree with you. LOL. Lisa.
I'll tell you what, Lisa, very honest when she says that. So, at least she's very honest about, you guys agree with me, so I thought it was a good show. But Lisa's always very complimentary of us. So we appreciate you, Lisa.
From the 314, complaint. Marshy needs a haircut. I don't like that.
No, Marsh has got good flow.
Marsh, your beard grows back very quickly.
Well, thank you.
You had just a mustache. It was like 2 days ago. When did you just have the wax mustache?
Oh, that was, I think that was 2 weeks ago. That was when Anthony was not in town.
Oh.
I had. Oh, you missed that, didn't you? I had the Raleigh Fingers mustache.
I can't keep. I don't know what day is what anymore. So clearly, I don't listen to.
I didn't see it.
Segments.
Yeah, you did miss it. I had a Raleigh Fingers mustache, and then later that week, I shaved it into a normal mustache, and now it has come back.
Full beard.
Oh, the beard has come back.
Yeah.
Now apparently my hair needs to be gone.
I don't like that.
My hair is probably going to fall out at some point in my life. Let me have my hair while I have it now.
Unless you're Anthony.
Oh, no, mine's going to go.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine's, just said the heck with it.
Now, if you let that grow out.
I can still grow hair.
Okay.
It just be thin in the corners.
I got you.
Yeah. It's a lot of hair.
The old Michigan.
Yeah, buddy.
That's what I got. The old Michigan.
The Michigan?
Yep.
No, Carey doesn't like Michigan.
Nah.
No, we know that. That's been established.
ILL. I.
Says it with such pride.
We're going to text from 314. Hey, boys, go fast lane yourselves.
Well, now, why would you say that to us? That's not nice.
Criticism, man.
I don't appreciate that. Neither does Carey or Matt.
All right. Well, speaking of Matt, let's get to the 3 stars of the day. A lot of people are probably wondering if Matt Marsh is going to be a 3-star. He's not. Honorable mention for today.
Okay.
3rd star of the day goes to Jordan Walker's Christmas card.
Yes.
And who's not getting one, huh?
So Carey went on one of his epic rants today. And he somehow related it to a Christmas card, whether or not, who was it, Ollie? Ollie was going to get a Christmas card. Yeah.
Nope.
That was pretty good.
2nd star of the day goes out to a guy who has made his return. John Mozeliak.
We hadn't heard from Foe in a while.
Been a minute.
I don't know if I was concerned necessarily, but
he's been busy getting the Blues together.
That's true. Yeah. He's done just an epic job. He's done an epic job of getting the Blues going.
Yeah.
1st star of the day, you just mentioned it, and if you did miss it, download the podcast. It goes to Carey's rant, 1st star of the day.
Thank you,
absolutely.
Thank
You got some people in the snake pit that were asking for
cards.
You to get the at least one of the stars. Well deserved.
Thank you.
Well deserved. Yep. All right. Hey, if you missed any of the interviews from today, including the press conference with Doug Armstrong, not an interview, but a press conference, you got the instant replay coming up. You'll hear all of them coming up right now. For Andrew Marsh, James Rivers, Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. See you.